This is a traffic jam. Traffic jam. Traffic jam. Traffic jam. Traffic jam. Traffic jam. Traffic jam.
dollars. How you get the sauce like that? Thought he fell off, but he bounced right back. Niggas show teeth, but afraid to attack. The Canterbury Bird, 33 in the strap. Your boy blessed in, yeah, I bees in the trap. Never been the one to switch teams, we adapt. Had to pay my dues, it's a mean in the day. Fear about the drop, hurt they fiending for crack. Run it. 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 Run it.
I ran up a bag today. How about a jag today? Popping outside today. We slipping, we slide today. I got a new glizzy, new K. I ran up a motherfucking K. I left to the motherfucking bank. Right with your motherfucking bank. I felt on that motherfucking cake. Counting up motherfucking cake. I ran up a 25K. It only took me 2 weeks. I told her nigga he weak. Moonwalk on the motherfucking beat. I jump out, I'm clapping the heat. These niggas, they whack obsolete. I stomping them out in the weeks. Grandma used to make me stay my ass outside. You know I was raised in the streets. I'm like bada boop, bada bing. I'm like get them gone, forget about it. You know that shit not a thing. I know that my brothers gon' die for me like I'ma die for them up, let it sing. Yeah.
Run it. Run it. Run it. Run it. Run it.
Nigga, that's the court. You know what I'm saying? You see that they tearing the shit down though, man. I remember back in the day, everybody used to be out here joking and shit, man. This your boy, young fella, man. You know what I'm saying? Tearing our shit down, nigga. Come on, nigga. But fuck with those 60638 to the world blow though, you understand?
On this road from a boy to a man with no one to hold my hand. Shit, I'm just praying that I make it home safe. You never know what to expect when living life up in the jacks. One wrong step could be the reason you don't make it home safe. Gang writings on the walls, niggas running from the laws, but through it all, we just really trying to make it home safe. Navigating the obstacles of the streets can be one hell of a feat. Think it's sweet, you might not make it home safe. A bunch of children of the ghetto, unaware of the shit that awaited us all. Staring at the letter CVL spray painted on walls. Was just a tender boy, son of a single mother, expecting a baby girl. Now yet subjected to this crazy world. And at this time I'm thinking life was all Saturday morning cartoons and action figures, not knowing that as I get bigger that shit'll get dark soon. Them cap guns turned to broke revolvers with bodies on them. Some rebel, some took to the streets cause ain't nobody want them. I went from mama's boy to child of the streets, a child of deceit. I was young and running wild in the streets, hanging with folks them, but I wouldn't plug. They just accepted me, gave me some lit, told me fear no Vic, that was the recipe. Can't run the streets if you know you got poor endurance. Stay on point cause proper preparation prevents poor performance. Had to look, listen and learn to peep the underhanded. Barely surviving, striving for knowledge, wisdom and understanding. Hit the county couple times, felt like I was stuck in time. Family looking at me like I lost my motherfucking mind. Coming home from school high, mommy tweaking, cursing me out. I holler, fuck you bitch, grab some of my shit then leave the house. Graduated to selling crack and weed, made a couple bucks but I was getting whooped. Blind to the tricks of the older clucks. Got stumped out by the police for a young nigga in these cold streets. It ain't no peace, all that speedball and get your brains left on a slow leak. Mommy moved us to the burbs, that created bigger issues. I'm on a metro headed to the hood with weed scales and pistols. Folks got jumped, it's go time, now I think I'm a hitter. We never found them niggas, a blessing that I ain't have to pull a trigger. I thought I was too live with that bullshit 2-5, trying to be something I wasn't. I was living true lies to the memory of all my niggas left deceased. I post some liquor in your honor, hoping that you rest in peace. On this road from a boy to a man with no one to hold my hand. Shit, I'm just praying that I make it home safe. You never know what to expect when living life up in the jacks. One wrong step could be the reason you don't make it home safe. Gang writings on the walls, niggas running from the laws, but through it all, we just really trying to make it home safe. Navigating the obstacles of the streets can be one hell of a feat. Think it's sweet, you might not make it home safe.
A woman died after being shot multiple times while sitting in a car in the LeClaire Courts neighborhood.
Cordy Guzman is live at Mount Sinai Hospital with more.
This is a traffic jam.
They might listen to radio, they might turn on TV, they might listen to music. Old school, new school, rap, hip hop, whatever it is, it has a beat and a cadence, and you can pick it up on radio waves, TV waves, whatever you want. You get to pick up this sound, and you dive to it.
Tell me this ain't rap, yeah. look, this ain't rap, just discussing the facts. Too many of us down, where the fuck I'm at. Niggas so far gone that they can't come back. Got cut with buck 50s or bust from the gap. Just another body done on the map. Just another statistic, just another stat. Just another color, just another black. Just another brother understand that? Nah, not really, but it seems I'm being forced. Growing up in the G, seen it from the front porch. He's being scorched, peeps reaching for the torch. Next day we being caught like a child needs support. Can I get away, midway airport? Days like this, wish I was in the Air Force. How dare beat the devil, can't dare be cold. Don't need to write it down, just share me those. This ain't rap, no, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us down, where the fuck I'm at. This ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Look, check it. This ain't rap. Just kicking the actuals. Revolutionized rebel, I'm a radical. Before you, after you. BCAC attitude. Do what I wanna do after what I had to do. Cops telling me to freeze cause they ain't half as cool. Man, this a weapon, you don't have to blast the tool. Shorties lack knowledge, they at bad schools. Ain't have a penny for they thoughts, had bad food. Saying no drugs as if it's from Baton Rouge. Yeah, I smoke good, stay out of bad moods. Hopefully the good does outweigh the bad news. Don't shoot the messenger, return the sender. God's been in you, sent you into mom's placenta. Listen to me, finna be a winner. Dictionary bars, just saying what I meant to. This ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us down, where the fuck I'm at. This ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us down, where the fuck I'm at. Yeah. Same rap. Voice speaks. Opinion. It's VSOP. Yeah. Still facts though. Real black though.
You think you're listening to one thing.
Chances make champions. On the solid, I'm a problem, you can't disregard me. Got some bottles and exotic, with your bitch we slotted. I be with goblins, keep some Glocks, we ain't boxing or arguing. No pocket watching, only focus on what's in your wallet. Foot on they necks, I'm a stepper, I apply that pressure. The mob be with me through whatever, we grew up aggressive. Better keep your bitch on the leash, or I bet I catch her. She give me brain like professors, that whole extra clever. All she get is dick and refreshments, don't ask extra questions. We in the party with some weapons, keep yourself together. We hot, dog, Christian on the
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
What is happening, good people? Welcome to this Tuesday. Hey, welcome to this Tuesday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from inside the beautiful What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside two.
One of them days, already.
And we're off. Alongside Tucson Warner, my name is Harry Howard. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to hang out with us each and every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m. We get together right here with you guys. We discuss issues that are currently impacting the black community, how those issues impact us as individuals, but also how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through many of those issues in the hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome those issues. Again, overcome them as individuals, but perhaps more importantly, overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to add your comments. We'll read through as many of them as possible while we go through the show. We would kindly request that you please take a quick second to share the broadcast. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Absolutely anyone that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of this discussion. It is our sincere belief that the more like-minded individuals we can get to be a part of this conversation, the better the opportunities we have of finding those aforementioned solutions. So please, if you will, take a quick second to share the broadcast. Truly, truly appreciate you all who do that on a daily basis. Thank y'all so much, man. I noticed yesterday, Remy, and I don't know if Remy's checked in yet, but if not, I'll make sure I acknowledge this later, because Remy shared the broadcast yesterday like a whole lot of times, like more times than I can count.
Salute.
So we appreciate that, man. Truly, truly, truly do appreciate that. But either way, more importantly, we appreciate y'all being here. Thank y'all so much for y'all's time, y'all's attention, and y'all's input. Again, this is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? I'm blessed and highly favored. How you?
Man, if I was doing any better, I would sell myself, man. I don't know. It's something is kind of wrong with me. And just in that I can find the fun in anything. Like, it don't really matter what it is. Like even if I didn't want to do it initially, once I start doing it, I'm gonna have a blast doing it. Like, that's just how I am. I'm not finna begrudgingly do anything. If I don't want to do it that bad, I ain't doing it. Right? So if I can't even trick myself into having fun with it, I'm just not gonna do it. And so as I was, shoveling myself out of untold amounts of snow, I had fun. I had a whole lot of fun, man. I'm throwing snow. I'm playing in it. I'm just having a good time, man. So I know that it's a hard thing. Nobody wants to do it. It's not, fun, but you got to find fun. You got to make fun in it. And so I was definitely making fun of the process while I was trying to get out of the back of the crib today, because it was challenging. Now, I also appreciate the way you approached it. I don't know what time you woke up this morning, but I know what time you checked outside. You texted me and said, "Hey, bro,
It's a wrap.
I'm not finna get out this garage today." Like, I don't know what it would take, but it's not about to happen. I said, okay, cool. I haven't checked outside yet. I know it's kind of crazy, but I plan to get out, and so we could just roll together like that. So he's like, well, I'm going to see if we can do it some other kind of way, just in case you don't get out either, because I'm telling you, it's cracking out there. Fortunately, I went out there, and as I'm doing it, it's a Mexican homie. He in his truck. He got a pickup truck with I don't even know what you call it, the big shovel on the front. What do you call it? Is there a word for that?
The plow.
Plow?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds great. With the plow on the front of his truck. Right? I thought that was one of those words. Like Don be talking about, or Kansas be talking about a colander with the strainer bowl. Like, y'all tweaking.
Yeah, them is new words.
It's a strainer bowl. Nobody's ever said colander in their life, and they act like I'm supposed to know this word.
We had them in our summer homes.
Yeah, right. I'm not.
Just wanted to say,
See?
I had to do it. I had to good help it. Had to do it. Had to do it. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. But I had to get that one off.
He came through, man. Like, hey, fam, $40. You come through this whole alley, knock this whole alley down, and then do the T at the end of the alley. $40.
It's a blessing, man.
He came through, killed it. We was all good. But have fun nonetheless, man. Make sure the front was good. My mama, so I'm making sure the front is good, and my mama is hilarious because she thinks she's Superwoman.
And
so
she is.
So I'm like, let me help this lady because she is Superwoman.
Absolutely.
Right? But go help her, right? We go in the crib. Now she tired, right? I need a drink. I said, cool, go ahead. So she did. She called my auntie, tell her to come have a shot. And so I'm like, Ma, when you gonna just messing with her. Because one of my favorite things to do is mess with her about like all the stuff she kind of just hoards. My mama, like, her house is very clean. But if you like hop in a closet or two, you be like, why you got this stuff? Like what? Why do you still have this stuff? So I'll be telling her she's a hoarder. My mama got clothes that she wore when I was like 5 or when I wasn't born, right? And one of these particular pieces of clothing that I remember that I knew she had not thrown away is this little leather skirt. This leather skirt is about this big, right? It's about this wide.
Anklet.
It's about this long. I'm like, you still got that purple leather skirt? She's like, you know I do.
It's a purple wristband at this point.
Why you still got it? I'm going to put my skirt on. I'm going to drink this Slim Fashion.
Well, let me stop.
What?
I'm not in that conversation.
You got to invent Slim Fast.
I ain't in that conversation.
That's just hilarious. So she pulled it out, right? She found this skirt. She digged through her closet. She found this skirt. I was like, she pulling it out. She showed it to me. I was like, go ahead, put it on. Put it on. So she trying to put it on over her little leggings, right? So she dress won't come past her knees. Me and my auntie crying, laughing. So then she like, I was like, okay, so what about the shoes? What about all these shoes? This lady got 300-400 pair of shoes.
After my own heart, I get it.
At least 300 pair of them she'll never put her foot in again, right? That's how I'm going to wear these shoes. All right, cool. Go to her room, hop on one of her, I don't know, half dozen shoe racks. And so I'm like, these are my favorite pair when I was a shorty. I used to love these shoes. It was they like a colorful little shoe. I just liked them. Right? Put these on. Because BD is as competitive as I am, right? She's like, okay, fine. Put the shoe on. She said, let me get my knee high though, right? Because she still got on these thick socks she had on the shovel of snow. She's like, let me get my knee highs. Right? She got a knee high, which is already a funny word. And just already a word that came from like 91, right? I don't know when the last time I heard nobody say knee high. But she put the knee high on. She put the shoe on.
Dead.
She got it on, right? I'm going to give her the credit that she got the shoe on. But have you ever, like when you first popped the can of biscuits?
Mom Howard, this is all your son. I'm not engaging in this conversation at all.
You know how when you first take the can of biscuits and it be like, and the thing come out the side. That's how it was. Me and my auntie dying laughing. So I called my brother and my sister-in-law. My sister picked up, or she called back. We dying laughing at this thing. My mama is just like that, right? So I called my brother and my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law notices her daughter's stroller in the background. Because she opened the closet when my mom was getting the clothes out. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, well, she didn't got a lot of stuff out of her closet, one of the closets, right? She got a lot of stuff out that closet. I'm like, yeah, she been slowly but surely getting rid of stuff. I'm kind of proud of her. But she said, but I see Chloe's stroller still sitting right there. Now, mind you, this is my sister-in-law's daughter, right? Chloe just turned
13.
14?
I knew it was something like that.
Chloe can drive. Okay? Chloe can drive a car and you have her stroller. That's my boo-boo stroller. No, it's not. That's your stroller, man. Like you are tweaking, but that's OGZ for you, man. So shout out to you, Ma, for being.
Salute to Gino too, man.
Absolutely hilarious.
Rocking the Bigs joint.
Shout out to the Bigs, man.
These is like Eskimo hats.
Hey.
So look, you talk about that snow though. This is my snow experience. So when I called you this morning, the only reason I opened the garage is because I had to make a personal two-something run.
Okay.
And I still had to make the run.
Right.
It has to be made. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I look out the garage and it's like 18 feet of snow. Ain't nothing happening, right? So I say,
it's over with.
I ain't got to go that far. It's like a good 4 or 5 blocks.
Okay.
I can walk that off. That ain't nothing.
Sure.
So I walk it off, right? But it's
in the street though.
So I'm in the street.
Right.
A Dodge no, what's a Charger? A Charger.
Charger?
A Charger rolls down the street doing 8,500 miles an hour and decides to give me a slush bath.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I dropped everything I had in my hand, was throwing snowballs at that point.
I can see you right now out there pissed.
Mad to say
I know you was super mad.
Oh, bad as hell. But it is what it is.
Have you ever done that to somebody?
Not purposely. I'm not that kind of a dude.
I've never done that either, man. Like I'm all for messing with people, but I mess with people like I'm just random. Like I talk to strangers in the store and mess with them like that kind of. I'm not finna like harm you for real. Like that's OC. Like I'm not finna mess up your clothes. I'm not finna have you soaking wet in pneumonia weather. Like that's off the chain. I'm not finna do that. I'm gonna go out my way to go around. And people walking the street everywhere. You go around these people. Don't do that. That's you wilding right now.
Yeah, he did me dirty.
Yeah, that's Bodine for sure.
He definitely did me dirty. But you know, I'ma see him.
That's right. I'ma see. He finna start busting that random challenges.
It is what it is. I'ma see him.
Yeah, you should have had it on you. You could have shot out the back windows. Anyway, man, let's hop into the production studio and holler at little bro. Ron Rilla is in the production studio doing whatever it is that Ron Rilla does. He has a mask on his forehead. You got your camera up in there, man?
The hard work.
Yeah, let's hold on. Just hold on, cause
Ron, connect me to the thing, man.
You in there. Wow.
Ready when you out.
What up, Ron? What is
Ron
that?
got on his Mardi Gras mask.
What is that on your face?
It's Fat Tuesday.
It's supposedly Mardi Gras day. You know, it's always a day. Every day is a special day.
Yeah, but no, Mardi Gras is a real thing. Fat Tuesday is a thing. All this new stuff where it's like, oh, it's Pie Day, or it's Sibling Day, or it's Daughter Day. Like, it just be so much stupid stuff. It's left-handed people's day. Like, what are y'all talking about? I can't get with that. But I feel you. It's definitely Fat Tuesday. It's Mardi Gras. I saw you and TT celebrating. Hey, TT. I saw you and TT celebrating Mardi Gras today. I'm all for Mardi Gras. I'm with it. You ever been down there?
I've never been. I'm missing out.
You ever been to New Orleans? Just in general?
I've never been to New Orleans.
All right, you got to get down there, bro. Even if it's not Mardi Gras, just get down to New Orleans. Like the vibe is similar year round. Like you go in the quarter, everybody's in the quarter just assuming it's Mardi Gras anyway, right? So they pulling their titties out regardless. It's random strippers on the light poles. You know what I'm saying?
I just got to bring some bees. It don't even matter, huh?
Yeah, it's millions of bees down there. You find some down there, just throw them. And so that's what I was saying on the show earlier. I'm like, well, Don was like, you know, I brought beads. Make sure y'all wear them on the show. And I'm like, well, I'll wear them, but I'm much more for giving the beads away than I am for wearing them. I buy the beads just to throw them at people. Like, hey, you, excuse me, ma'am, with the amazing rack, here's some beads.
New Orleans is dope, but it's different.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So my grandfather's from New Orleans. I.e. how I got the name Tucson in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
But New Orleans ain't sweet though. It ain't just Mardi Gras and Fat Tuesday.
Oh, it'll happen to your ass right around the corner from
New
the
Orleans
quarter.
is a very different kind of place. Like
you come out the French Quarter, literally around the corner, it is cracking.
It's a different kind of energy in New Orleans. Like out of all the places I've been, I've only been afraid in traveling like twice. I'm serious. New Orleans is one of them spots, and China was one of them spots. But I was by myself in China, so that's something different. You know what I mean? But New Orleans for sure got a different kind of energy if you're not accustomed to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but yeah, it's a dope place, man. A lot of my family's still in New Orleans too.
Nah, New Orleans is one of my favorite cities in the country, man. It is the only place that I find comparable, and if I'm being really honest and let go of my bias, probably better food than Chicago.
Yeah, I ain't rocking.
It's tough. My bias tells me like Chicago best food in the world. I mean, in the country for sure. And New Orleans is the only place I've ever been that I've even found comparable. And it very well may be better. I think I'm only holding out on Chicago because of my bias. The food in New Orleans is banging. Banging.
That's what I've heard, and that's what the main reason I want to go.
Nah, it's banging. And you can go to like the.
It's way better stuff than the food down there though. To try to get behind some green doors. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like
it's
green doors down there.
Nah, it's up there. It's
green
up there.
doors are special.
Listen, they got a spot called Colette's, and that's all I can tell you. Okay, look it up. Anyhow, the food is fire though. You can go to the main spots, right? You can hit the spots on Canal, or you can go to a place like Mother's. Mother's is fire. Mother's is banging. I ain't mad at Mother's. Or they got Emerald. What's the dude's name? Legacy, the celebrity chef, whatever. He got a spot down there that's fire. You can hit those spots up, and you should, but you must hit up the spots that you don't look like you want to even walk in. Like, no, I'm not even going in there, fam. Go in there, okay? You will bite your finger off in there. Food, banging. They got a spot. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. My favorite spot down there, it's this little corner store spot, and it's probably like 2 blocks outside of the quarter, right? And I don't really know which way to say if that's north or south or I get no, it's probably east or west, right? Canal is east and west, but I don't know which way. Either way, it's like 2 blocks outside of the quarter. Dog, it's a little corner store, and hole in the wall. It literally does not like you want to walk in there, but you walk in there, and just like you would find in the hood in Chicago. Bulletproof glass, right? You can't really talk. You got to talk through the glass to talk to the person. They sell individual rolls of toilet tissue, right? They sell loose squares, okay? Quarter juices. But they also sell the fiest po' boys that you've ever had in your entire life, G. The freshest, most succulent.
That boy said succulent.
Jumbo shrimp. And they put like this little Cajun like mayonnaise sauce on it. They throw some little hot sauce, lettuce, pickles. Oh my G.
Smacking, huh?
What? You go in there and get everything you ever came for. Okay? Let me get 2 rolls of the hard toilet tissue, because they don't got like soft tissue. It's the individual hard toilet tissue. Right? But the food, banging. You look through the glass, they got a whole little drawer of, or whatever you call the thing, of like crawfish. I don't eat crawfish because it's just too ugly. I can't get with it. You eat crawfish too?
I've tried it. It ain't my thing. I ain't a big fish guy like that anyway.
Now I don't like fish, but I'm here for shrimp. Even like crab legs, I like them, but it just takes too long to get to them, so I'm not dealing with it. But crawfish, they so ugly. I can't bring myself to do it. Like, if you don't look good, I'm not putting it in my mouth.
So you can't eat something that's ugly?
If it don't look good, I'm not eating it. Okay?
I'm sure you.
If it don't look
something
good,
that was ugly before.
If it don't look good and it has a bad odor, I'm not eating it. Okay? Now, I'm right. I understand completely where you're at with this thing.
I just say, hey, I'm just saying.
I'm saying I'm right there with you.
Okay.
And if it does not look good,
I'm just listening to you talk, bro.
Or it has an unpleasant odor, I'm not eating it.
Okay.
That goes for chitlins and chicken heads. Like, whatever. Like,
That's so hard.
Whatever. You call it what you want, fam. I said what I said. Anyhow, man.
I'm trying to find some videos I downloaded the other day because I wanted to have this conversation the other day. But
now we definitely got a lot of things we need to get into today. We did not get into many topics and stuff yesterday. Shout out to Ty, man. Shout out to Ty Stroger for coming on the show. You can catch Ty Stroger every single weekday morning at 6 a.m. on the Maze Jackson Show. He came out and hung out with us here on I Said What I Said. And
the Ruthie Moore Show.
See, sometimes I just try to be
No, we ain't doing that.
The Ruthie Moore.
We ain't being politically correct.
The Ruthie Moore.
Hell with that.
The Ruthie Moore Show. You can catch him there, but he came out, hung out with us. He said he would. We expected him to. Then we kind of thought we may have backed out on us, but he came through. He stayed the whole 3 hours and had the conversation, and it was a good conversation. We didn't get as deep into the conversation as I would like to. We didn't reach some of the conclusions, some of the understandings that I would have liked to reach. Oftentimes when we have those type of conversations, you get bogged down on small things that you don't need to get bogged down on for any reason at all. But nonetheless, he came, and I appreciated it. So shout out to Ty Stroger for coming through and hanging out with us on ISWIS yesterday. But with that having happened, we didn't get into a lot of the topics that we would normally have liked to gotten into on a Monday morning. So lots of things we want to get into today. We've got some videos we want to show you guys, got some stories we want to talk about. We didn't even get a really chance to dive into Judas and the Black Messiah all that deeply. So I want to touch on that just a little bit more. And anything y'all add into the comments, we'll keep our eye on that as well. So again, thank y'all so very, very much for tuning in. I hope this Monday afternoon finds y'all doing quite well. We appreciate each and every one of you all for tuning in. I seen some of the things that you sent me. Where do you want to kick this thing off at, man?
So let's do this, because this is just something I
don't have you over here either though.
Okay, hold up. Let me get connected, brother.
Indeed, good sir. Indeed.
Let's let this rock, and then we just discuss this after it rocks.
I wanna rock with you. I think I'm having a birthday party.
Okay, bless your heart.
I usually like wait till the last minute and try to figure out something unless I'm like taking a trip or something, but I'm not doing that. But I do kind of want to do something. Turning 35 in April, so let me do something. And I think I'm gonna put together a little party, man.
April 11th, right?
Yeah, April 11th.
My sister's
man.
birthday too. G, you a special Negro.
Indeed. Shout out to Big Sus, man. Happy birthday. We're gonna celebrate her birthday too. We're gonna turn that joint up. I'm thinking about doing something. My birthday falls on a Sunday this year, so I'm thinking about doing something like maybe that Saturday night, bring my birthday in at midnight, do something like that. Something small, something cool. See if I can coerce Jay Illa into spinning some records. And hanging out with us, so we're gonna see how that go. But anyway,
I got it up so whenever you're ready. I'm ready.
Matter of fact, I just got the word that Jay is confirmed. Shout out to Beulah, man.
Beulah plugged you.
Beulah is the plug, man. Like
she is, man.
So Illa is the homie, but you know, Beulah is next level. So she's like, I was talking to her, and she's like, well, you should do something. 35, do something. And so I was like, cool, I'll do something, I'll figure it out. But then she ended up sending me like a save the date message. You know what I'm saying? You send the people like, hey, think about doing something on my birthday. And I'm like, didn't her birthday like just pass? Like her birthday in like November. I'm like, dang, you is like forward planning than a mug. Like my birthday 2 months from now, I have no idea what I'm doing. She's like, what you want to do? I'm like, she took it and ran. Shout out to you, Beulah. B70 is the plug. I appreciate it. So Jay is confirmed we're gonna do that on April 10th. But anyway, I digress. I don't even know where I was going.
Wait, this is a real party or like a virtual kind of thing?
No. We're gonna do it, man. We're gonna do it for real. Something, you know, kind of small. You know, I ain't for a million people anyway. So just probably a few people. We'll either do it. We're probably gonna do it in the basement. And so I'm telling people, I'm like, well, we could probably. She's like, wait, what's the venue? And because Beulah's Beulah, she starts running down.
But people don't understand your basement.
Yeah, so
your basement is the venue.
Because Beulah is who she is. She starts running down all these venues, right? All of these A-list venues across the city. Maybe this place, and that place, this place, that place, this place, that place. I'm like, no, probably not. Like, probably not that place or that place or that place, right? And I was like, no, probably go do one of two places. My homie got a dope loft space over in Pilsen. I was like, well, I'll just do it in my basement. Like, it's not that deep. And so she was like, oh, okay, if that's what you want to do, whatever. But I was like, no, it's really a dope space. But the whole basement is set up like a lounge. And so I sent her some flicks. She's like, what venue is this? We could do it here. I was like, that's the basement. That's what I'm telling you. She's like, oh, it's a whole club. Yeah, it is. So we'll probably either do it there or at the other spot. So somewhere like that. We'll do something chill. Get Illa to come through, man. He does Get Busy on Saturdays, and we kind of got a whole little family going on with that. And I invited a few more people. We hang out, man. So I'm looking forward to that, man. And you know, we maybe get some ISWIS fam up in the party and hang out a little bit, man. But you know, that's a couple months from now, so we will see how that goes. Either way, man, I didn't mean to go off into that tangent about my birthday. I was just giving you some time to pull up the video.
It's all good, I know.
I still don't have it though. Oh, I do got it. Yeah. I'm fronting. It looked like something else though. Okay, my bad. I'm with you. Whenever you're ready.
Into all this, and I mean, I'm thinking back to the episode 92 of Elucidations where we talked to Christy Dodson, and you know, she expressed a concern that Black women kind of get like crowded out of the popular imagination of what it means to be Black. Do you think it would be fair to say that?
I mean, it depends the context, right? I mean, if you're looking at conversations about, say, something like domestic violence, then Black women are certainly more present than Black men as victims of domestic violence. If you're talking about police killings, then you'll have a different story there, right? I think the logics or the theory that argument comes from is called intersectional visibility. Intersectional visibility suggests that, and this was an article that was written by Purdy and Hughes and Ibach in 2008, suggests that recognition or the lack of recognizing a group is just as bad, if not worse, than the actual death of another group. So Purdy, Hughes, and Ibach make this argument. So there's a theory called social dominance theory that was developed by Sedanius and Prado. Their argument was, under capitalist patriarchal societies, racialized outgroup men are going to be the direct targets of lethal violence more than outgroup women. And they provided an impressive amount of evidence to that effect. Purdy, Hughes, and Eibach suggested, well, that empiricism is true. Black men are incarcerated more, black men are killed more, etc. Read that death as a kind of male privilege. And here's why. In a patriarchal society, the idea was that men are more valued than women. So the dominant male group does not fear women, it fears other men. So the logic of the intersectional visibility argument says, well, because you pay attention to men more than you pay attention to women, these outgroup men are targeted then for more violence and more death. So they're targeting these men for death and with more lethal forms of violence is actually a form of patriarchal privilege, because that's why they're being recognized and targeted more than women. Now, why does this matter to the previous comment? Well, the argument is, well, black women get left out of conversations, so you don't focus on, some of the issues with black women. But as Purdy, Hughes, and Eibach say, but the advantage of that is that that's why they're safer. That's why you don't see the same amount of incarceration. You don't see the same amount of police brutality, racial profiling, etc. The question is, do we really think that that's a privilege? Is the killing of a group because they're more feared really indicative of privilege? And then saying, well, we're not killed as much, so that means that we're somehow oppressed, right? This is what I meant earlier when I said that I think it's morally deplorable to use death as a standard of privilege. I talk about this in my book. The kind of violence and the logics that entail is, are we willing to say that victims of genocide are privileged next to the perpetrator because they were killed more? We, of course, would never say that. We would never talk about the fact that Jewish men were killed first in the genocide as a function of privilege. But when we talk about black men and their condition, we're certainly willing to make that argument that, well, we focus too much on the deaths of black men despite the fact that they're 100-folds greater than women, black women. Do black women get ignored sometimes? Absolutely. It depends on the context. It's not across the board. And I would challenge such logics with this. In the university, black women far outnumber black men. And we're talking about upwards of 30, sometimes 40,000, depending on which set you're using to talk about it. They get over 70% of the degrees, from associate all the way to PhD, JD, MD. Black men have nothing to do with whether or not those representations are dictated within academic literature. They're the minority. But we don't conceptualize them that way, despite the fact that they've been outnumbered by black women in colleges and universities since the 1970s. So what does it mean to say that women get pushed to the side? Is there a representation, especially in the early years, where the focus was on race? Absolutely. Where there were not gender distinctions made as rigidly as there are now? Absolutely. But that's not a function of black women just being excluded. That's a function of we didn't have rich concepts of gender in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s that carried the kind of intellectual and categorical weight that they do now. Right? This is what Kathleen Cleaver talks about with the Black Panther Party. She's like, people analyze the relationships between black men and women in the Black Panther Party now through the lens of that language didn't even exist back then. Intersectionality came about in the late 80s. So what does it mean to be intersectional in political groups in the 1970s? Right? This is what I mean about the revisionism. You're holding people accountable for concepts and terms that didn't even exist. And again, this is not to say that we should not focus on black women, but it's to say that in discourses about race or racism, part of those studies have to be contextual and empirical. So if I'm studying black male victims of rape or black male victims of domestic abuse, black women are wholeheartedly talked about more. They have more services, more recognition, more literature, right? They're conceptualized as being a victim. When you're studying black men, you have to convince people that they can even be a victim of sexual violence or domestic abuse or intimate partner homicide or violence, right? It's a completely different situation. So how do we talk about that? See, the problem is that in philosophy, we say these blanket statements. We make these blanket assertions about whether or not certain groups relate to other groups in that way. And it doesn't hold up. There's no reason that it would always be the case that black men are talked about more in this society. And in the cases where they are, it's usually negative. I mean, think about the stereotypes that exist for black men. Bad fathers, rapists, criminals, deviants, hashtag black men are trash. You don't see these hashtags or conversations around black women being endorsed by black intellectuals or black academicians, right? But you see these hashtags shared by people, employed all the way up to Yale when it's concerning black men. So how do we talk about visibility? Yes, we do talk about black men a lot, usually either as corpses because they're dead or as the fact that they're trash. We use genocidal language to talk about a group of people that are oppressed in this country because we don't view them as oppressed and having humanity. We view them as perpetrators of violence. When we talk about domestic violence in this country and the disproportionate rates of domestic violence in this country, we're talking about the disproportionate rates are due to the fact that black men are more hypermasculine and abuse and murder women. That has nothing to do with what the social science actually says on it, right? Child abuse, alcoholism, going in and out of jail, poverty, right? All these things correlate much more with domestic abuse and sexist attitudes, and have done so in the literature for the last 20 years. But we don't talk about that. So when we say things like black women always are usually excluded or put on the margins, my question is in what case? And if black women have been dominating the intellectual discourse and writing about black women, not saying in general, but like specifically about black women, then why haven't they been present given the numbers, or how many black women outnumber black men in the university, right? There's one journal that exists for black to publish on black male issues. I mean, you can count the number of feminist journals and journals that accept work on intersectionality and black feminism, or you can count the numbers of jobs in that area. There are no jobs available for people studying racialized masculinities in this country. Most universities don't even have courses on masculinities unless it's taught from a feminist lens. So, we have a lot of work to do to add some specificity to what we're actually talking about. We're talking about gender and the relationship between black men and black women.
So I have to say,
Indeed.
So I pulled that up, man, specifically around, he made a statement about gender in the Panthers in context to the movie too. But outside of that, I was having a conversation with the homie Booby Shabazz.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Booby, man. Shadon, Whitney Young Dolphin, hooper.
I'm so sick of that shit.
Hooper.
I know she can hoop.
Shadon can hoop her ass off, and she can also dance. Footwork extraordinaire. She has a documentary on that coming out too.
Yes, she does.
Called "Footwork Saved My Life." He's talking to some of the best footworkers of a generation coming out of Chicago and what it meant to them. Looking forward to that documentary, but also looking forward to having her on. We're gonna have her on the show one day this month. I want to say it's the 22nd. We're gonna have her on the show. She is absolutely phenomenal. She is the genuine article of a Southside black woman, and she's highly, highly educated, PhD, doctor this, professor that. But still so Southside. So Southside to the core, man. Love Shadon. Looking forward to having her on the show. Booby is definitely the bomb, man.
Mm-hmm. So, but Booby had made a statement on her Instagram page, and I was like, the hell does that mean? Right? Contextually, I didn't understand it at all. I still don't think I understand it. But it drove me to question it. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right? So she had made a statement, and I'm trying to find it, but I don't have the actual statement that led to this conversation.
Yeah.
But I have the conversation. And the statement she made was something about the movie and the image of Chairman Fred when he just got out of the joint, and there was like this embrace between him and his wife, and she showed him that she was pregnant. Not his wife, but his girl. Sure. She showed him that she was pregnant. And she made a statement about that moment being queer as fuck. And I didn't, I was just like, what? I still don't understand it to this day. Right, so I asked her, I said, wait a minute.
Whatever do you mean?
I said, I don't understand that. Help me understand. Can you explain what that statement means? She said, yeah, give me a second. I'll send you what she said. So she sent me this is gone now. It was a photo.
What do you mean?
From Brittany Cooper.
Okay.
And Brittany Cooper is a, well-known feminist writer, contributed to, all kind of news medias, magazines. She's out there. She's known. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with a lot of, I'm going to say 99.99% of the stuff she says.
Sure.
But she's very, very, very viable. Like, she's really out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I still was like, man, I still don't get it, even as she sent me the photo. So she responded. She's like, basically, Black Love Period is a queer project because it's not only marginalized and traditional /centered white supremacist understanding of desire, but there's been an effort to either control black love /desire or destroy it. That makes it queer. Do you understand that?
Read it again.
Basically, Black Love Period is a queer project because it's not only marginalized in traditional / centered in white supremacist understandings of desire, but there's been an effort to either control black love / desire or destroy it, and that makes it queer.
Okay. So maybe I need to look up the definition of queer, right?
It means weird, strange, odd, unusual.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for that definition, Ron, because I was going to say, no, they're tweaking. Come with the definition of queer again.
Weird, strange, odd, or unusual.
Is that what it means within that community, though?
I just looked up the actual definition.
See, that's why all this polyamory, LGBT shit, that shit is too much, right? We got to redefine words and shit or know what it means in the use of it in this sector of the genre.
I guess
that's
fit.
an unfair
Odd
commentary.
fit, though.
Huh?
Odd does fit, though.
Black love is odd?
Odd, rare, weird.
Black love is rare and weird?
Hell yeah.
Queer.
Fuck yeah, it's weird.
Like for what we call
How's it
queer.
weird?
How's it weird?
Yeah.
Till we see it on this show every single day and talk about that you the only person that you knew growing up that had a dual parent household. That's rare. That means it's rare, sir.
That makes black marriage rare. That don't make it weird. And that definitely don't make black love weird or odd.
That's what weird is. Just means different from the norm.
So black marriage
is
and
different from
black
the norm.
Love are not the same conversation. They wasn't married, even in the context of what the conversation started around.
Okay, so nobody said you were the only person that was a product of a marriage. You said the only person that had a man in the house. But they could have been in love and not married. You know what I'm saying? They weren't even in love and together.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm asking. Is black love an oddity?
Yes, I'm saying yes. That's what I'm saying.
You think so, Ron?
It shouldn't be.
Ain't nobody ask you what you
I don't
should
think
be.
what you should
as you
be.
look
Yeah,
around,
hypothetical niggas, man.
as you look around, are the majority of black people you see in healthy, loving, romantic relationships?
And rare and weird, just like they said, rare and weird are not synonymous. I agree.
Well, let's define weird then, Ron. Come on.
Because it'd be weird when
define weird.
When she be getting hit upside her head, then the next day she right up under him.
No, that's not weird. That's kind of normal.
Who was getting hit upside the head?
Weird. I mean, that's normal.
What you talking about?
Like in the context of weird in black relationships, like black love.
But no, I'm not saying that's happening in every black relationship. I'm saying whoever that's happening to.
But I said you
them
said,
going back.
Name something I've seen that's weird. That's
no, I said define weird.
That's
I want you to look it up. I'm literally asking you to do me a favor. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Somebody asked me to read the definition again. She said, basically, Black Love Period is a queer project. It's not only marginalized in traditional / centered white supremacist understanding of desire, but there's been an effort to either control black love / desire or destroy it. That's what makes it queer.
And by the definition that Ron gave me of queer, I don't disagree.
The definition of weird.
Uh-huh.
Suggesting something supernatural, uncanny, very strange or bizarre.
Yes, I'll leave the supernatural alone, but uncanny, strange. Yeah.
So I don't get into the homie's business because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You think Booby is on the LGBT spectrum?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No. To casually observe her, you might think so, because like I said, she's a hooper to the core. You know, some of her wardrobe preferences may be more identified with some of the guys, but you can see her put on clothes, and I mean, like female.
Dope in the hooper getter.
No, she's fire in that. Like absolutely gorgeous, super fire. But I'm just saying, like I can see how somebody like, oh, shorty just dropped 40 on them, and then she came out with jeans and Tim's on. She must like box. I don't know that to be true about her. I've known her since I was, I don't know, 7th, 6th grade. So I don't know that to be true about her.
So Catrice says, so we need a campaign to normalize black love. Well, let me just state this. Right?
That I agree 100%.
I'm not opposed to that in any kind of way, right? But the statement itself threw me, and I still don't fully grasp the context of the statement. I don't. Mm-hmm. I was going back and forth with Booby, and I still was like, nah, I don't get it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But in context, I do get who Brittany Cooper is, though, who the woman who made the original statement, mm-hmm. and Booby was just mimicking the statement.
Sure.
And then going back to this video we just played with Dr. Tommy Curry, and he talks about the disparities in the understanding of the realities of our gender biases, specifically in regards to the context of how we view them versus what's real, right? And he was like, the question was like, it was some white guy asking the questions. He's like, don't you think women get lost in this conversation? And Dr. Curry's response was like, it depends on what context you're talking about, right? He was like, if you're talking about physically abusive, if you're talking about police shootings, if you're talking about that, yeah, you might get lost in that context. But outside of those two, pretty much everything else in the community is centered around understanding the women. And then he broke down reasons as of why and how you can understand that. And then he goes into a little bit further, and you just kind of get into the construct of how males in our community are kind of like victims of patriarchy, but we're assumed to be beneficiaries
beneficiaries
of patriarchy, right? And at the end of that, he even speaks to the context of the Panther Party specifically. And I thought that was interesting that those two ideas or those two conversations was colliding at the same time. And then he makes mention of all the shit that you see online, the memes, the men ain't shit, going down the line, right? And he said, and you see people presenting these ideas all the way up to those employed at Yale, which was a direct shot at the Brittany Coopers of the world. You know what I mean? And I just think in context, that was very interesting. Now, I said that I wasn't really going to dive too deep, or I wasn't going to dive deep into the context of the conversation we was having yesterday, because in a lot of ways, I think it was kind of circular. But partially, what I wanted to get out of that conversation yesterday, and in regards to the context of the movie that we watched, right? And I brought it up lightly, but we kind of passed over it. Like, there was a representation of masculinity from those guys. That's rare in our community today. You know what I mean? And I struggle with what is the role of the man in the black community. I struggle with it, right? I think that in context, I got a vision of who I am, who I try to be for my family and my community, right? In a lot of ways, though, if I'm being very honest, I think I'm an anomaly, even amongst my peers, even people I associate with. You know what I mean? And it's not, and I think a lot of that is rooted in fear. You know what I mean? And when you start looking at that internalized fear that I think we deal with as a group, and then you start to see these other ideas being imposed on a group that's not really secure in their understanding in the first place, what does that do?
I don't know. It leaves us in a space where we have more questions than answers, right? I think that it just leaves us in a space where we have more questions than answers, and that's not a problem, right? Except for the fact that when you ask tough questions, or you ask questions that people don't want to address or people don't want to answer, it leads us down this road that is completely unnecessary. And so when I ask a question on a Relationship Friday that says, perhaps we should consider different ways of relating, because on the grand scheme of things, monogamy isn't really working out, right? Statistically speaking, right? And it's like nobody wants to have that conversation because this is what we know. And then people feel attacked for what they believe and how they feel. It's like, nobody's attacking you. I'm just listening to what I'm saying here. Same thing happened yesterday, right? Perhaps we need to have a better understanding about where we come from so we can understand how do we get on the same page and push forward, because we're always talking about the necessity of us identifying and building our team. Okay, where are our players coming from? How can we get on the same page? But when you try to have that conversation, the moment you ask uncomfortable questions, it becomes this other thing. And people, because they don't want to have a conversation about, oh, should I consider a different way of relating, then I just say, oh, you just want to fuck everybody. That's why you want to be poly. No, in fact, I said the exact opposite. Or you say, hey, what's the experience like to have a home and a summer home? That's not the general experience with black people. Challenging my blackness and what's wrong with having nobody said anything's wrong with having a summer home. It's perfectly fine, but it is absolutely abnormal in the black community. I don't know why that turned into a debate. I don't know how anybody in their right mind could disagree with that being abnormal.
But I'm going to push back for this reason. And I said this maybe last week it was, I don't know. But when we start to align ourselves with certain belief systems, they become a religion. Hence, we are protecting them rather than listening.
Exactly.
Right?
We're not listening to comprehend and understand.
Our belief systems and our commitments to our belief systems rather than listening. right? So I want to read this comment from Kang. It says the media is intentionally trashing black love, be bombarding the programming with every love except black love, right? So whether it be polygamy, whether it be, and I don't want to say let's not even put that in there because that's not different than black love, right? But it questions, it promotes homosexuality, it promotes every other context except for male, female. You know what I mean? And I know that media has a way to it essentially informs, right? It dictates behavior in a lot of ways.
I was gonna say, does it inform or does it?
It dictates.
Dictate? You know what I mean?
It dictates behavior, right? So when
I want your opinion, I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to you, right? So in a lot of instances, what we're seeing is a response to the dictation that we've been receiving for X amount of time, right? So shout out to the homie Brian Gorman. So B comes on the show a couple weeks ago. We all excited about B's magazine, right? In context, B says in the conversation, because I know nothing about this, but he says, hey, man, it's being funded by these people, XYZ people.
Sure.
I don't know who those people are, right? No reference to me at all. A few days later, he said, hey, man, I had to drop out of that situation. We're going to do the magazine a different kind of way, but they pulled the funding. I say, why? He said, well, I got into an argument with him because they tried to pull your article and several other people that I know. I didn't even read their articles, but all those people's articles. And they only wanted to accept the articles in which they got from whomever they got their articles from.
My money, my decision.
Whatever.
I'm saying that's how they roll.
Maybe. But the reason they justified pulling those articles because they were too black.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right? So when you put that all in context, it's all these other people defining
what blackness is.
What blackness is, right? So I want to be clear about this because that became an overlying theme these last 2 days, right? Which was never my intention, nor was it a question that got asked.
Nor did it happen here.
It didn't even happen here.
Didn't happen here, right?
It didn't happen
what you
here.
had was people in their own right, choosing their own lane to do and live as they see fit. Fine. I don't care how you choose to live your life. Live it that way, right? But when I raise a question about how we stand in black spaces, how we support black causes, if that makes you feel a way where you need to become on the defensive about it, that's something you're doing. That's internal. Nobody said that to you. You're internal. And so we up and we got all this visceral response and all of this vigorous defense of this. I didn't even say, nobody said what you're saying. Like, nobody's having that conversation with you, right? And that's whether we talking about Todd, we talking about in the comments, like, nobody said what y'all are saying at all. Your response leads me to believe that you're being defensive because in your heart, you know that your theology is so closely aligned with whiteness that when I ask you, how is that representative of blackness, or how are you standing in those spaces for black people, how are you promoting black interest, you get defensive. That's not my fault. You need to have a long, hard conversation with yourself in the mirror. And when you're done with that, I imagine you're going to feel the same way you felt before you stood in the mirror. But then just accept it. Just stand on it. It's okay. Nobody's telling you got to think like me. Nobody's even saying I'm right. All I'm saying is, don't tell me that you're thinking like me and then move a different way. That's all the fuck I'm saying. If you want to move however you want to move, perfectly fine. Move that way. Don't tell me you're moving this way and then do something else. That's where the problem comes in. And because you have some internal battle going on with you about how you actually move versus what comes out of your mouth, that's not my issue. It's your issue. I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to internalize it. I'm not going to apologize for it because I didn't even do it.
So shout out to Deborah Wilson, who's across the pond checking us out. We
Indeed.
always appreciate Deborah listening. But she says mass media tends to enforce normatives and that facilitate and maintain societal hierarchies, right? And I agree with that. But we got to come to terms with, we're at the bottom of that caste structure, right? So if it's to facilitate and normalize and maintain social hierarchies, and we're at the bottom of said hierarchy, then why are we so accepting of said media? Why are we so accepting of said messaging? Why are we so accepting of these ideas? And that's kind of what at least in my mind, what I would like to do every time we turn these mics on. Challenge our acceptance of these ideas, whether it be acceptance of ideas brought through the lens of homosexuality, whether it be acceptance brought through the lens of heterosexuality, right? Some of the shit that's attached to that is not healthy. It just is what it is, right? But in context is so important, right? And I think the reason why we attach ourselves to these ideas so readily is because we're not anchored in anything other than media. And that's the conversations that I've been having for a very long time, right? So even in the context of, this last 2 days of, don't question my blackness, which I never did, right?
Nobody did that.
What the fuck is blackness in the first place?
Nobody did that.
But what is blackness, right? What does that mean, right? I don't even have a definition of what that means. You know what I mean? So the context of having a someone who could question it, it's false. It's not a valid idea in the beginning. It's only in reference to what whiteness says blackness is. Therein lies part of the goddamn struggle. I know I owe the curse jar.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get the curse jar straight. We gotta take a break. We're gonna get the curse jar straight on the other side of the break. We have the IOU that Esco kept tally of yesterday for all of our curse words on yesterday. I know y'all can't really see that well, but it's just a little tally marks of how often we curse. It has my curse words and Two's curse words, and even Todd's curse word at the end of the show when he got pissed at you and he was ready to beat your ass.
Which is proof that we won. Well, I won because Herb was just instigating.
I was officiating. When we come back, we'll settle up on the curse jar from yesterday and talk about the curse jar for today. There's also a video I want to play from y'all, old clip from Arsenio Hall show that is addressing the things that you were talking about with that video, right? And how other people fight to have their issues heard. But when we talked about black men, not so much. Arsenio Hall was challenged on his own show by somebody who came to his show just to challenge that. I loved his response. We'll play that clip on the other side of this break. This is I Said What I Said, Herb and 2 till 6. We'll be right back.
WIIFTBPM. Welcome to Inhale, Exhale, you guys. We're your health home girls, Dr. Tanks Lee and Danny Time. We are being joined today by a guest, Samantha Allen, who's going to work with us today about attachment styles.
Preoccupied, anxious, that's more so a child that comes from a background where the parent or the caregiver was kind of all over the place. You didn't know what you were going to get, so you were clinging to them when you did have their attention, because sometimes I might have it, other times I might not. Because of that, it creates an anxiousness in the child, whereas when I get your attention, I want to hold on to it. I want to make sure, so I might cry when you leave, or I always want you around. I'm craving your attention. Mother-father relationship, the father passed away, now the mother is over busy, she's working all the time, she doesn't have as much attention as she once had for the children, so now this created an anxious attachment style. Those adults grow up more, considered more clingy in relationships, always wanting attention or feeling like I need to make sure we're okay, fear abandonment, fear that we might be breaking up or you might be leaving me alone, so I might check in with you more often, I might call you more. I just need to be assured that everything is okay with our relationship. That anxiousness part is the anxiety of the relationship, of always thinking something might be going wrong. If I called you, you don't answer. Are you upset with me? What did I do? Let's figure this out. Let's work this out. You're always kind of on edge about where your relationship will go.
You get a piece of paper, write down the event, the thought, emotion, and then logic. So in this case, say that your boyfriend didn't text you back. Okay, that's the event. What is your thought? Oh, well, he doesn't care. What's your emotion? I feel unworthy. What's the logic? Well, maybe he's asleep. So you gotta do that. That's addressing some of the symptoms. But overall, you want to engage self-love and self-discovery, right? And just kind of reprogramming your subconscious.
All day. Check it out. See, while you was on the corner trying to scrape up pack money, I was driving 80 stack trucks off rap money. I'm back money If you want it, come to the hundreds and ask for me. Meet them OGs that'll blast for me. I'm right here. Ill Adidas, $400 jeans on me. Itchy with no safety, a loaded magazine on me. Southside, that's as wild as it gets. And no, I never sold crack. That's some house nigga shit. I'm not judging, but every man that's a man gotta stand by his principles, and I'm not budging. That's Mickey. You can take it how you want, but you can never be me. You can fake it how you want. I spit that uncut raw. You can bake it how you want. Break it down any way you like. You get the same result. Get in tune. The elephant in the room has now assumed pole position. Whoa. Oh. BJ, get him. Come on.
Reporting live from the gutter where that butter get gorillas jobs. That's why we call it work. The same work who get a nigga robbed. I throw my dice against the concrete. If the bitches pass, see you later. Grab my paper, tell a theta, kiss my ass. This the jungle, baby, I'm a lion. Try me, I'll be firing. The same banger saved Private Brian. You the prey, you survive and hide. Better pray that them vultures and them rovers don't go flying by them. The mother niggas just so-so. How Linda birth a nigga this hot in the cold go? I went from 20-inch assassins on that Osmo to that pretty 760 sitting low on them bozos. Those are big shoes, you motherfuckers is so slow. Get caught without your heat in these streets is a no-no. Baby need Pampers, daddy need that photo. It's bread or nothing, big old niggas, you see the logo.
D-O-N. Shout out to the Goon Squad, man. Saw Remy pop in to the show over the break. Remy, I definitely shouted you out earlier at the top of the show, man. We appreciate how frequently you shared yesterday's broadcast. I saw it yesterday, like last night, and I couldn't even count how many times you shared the broadcast. So thank you so much. We appreciate that. And definitely shout out to the Goon Squad. That's fire, Ryan. Every time you play that joint, that's fire. I rock with that.
If you're going to shout out the Goon Squad, you got to also shout out Mickey House, because that's Mickey House's record.
No, you got to shout out Mickey House.
No, you got to shout out Mickey House because it's Mickey House's record.
Shout out to Mick.
That's all I'm saying.
Got nothing but love for Mick.
Relax with your little Goon Squad religion.
See, that's
relax.
That's that all lives matter shit.
That's that tone?
No, that's that all lives matter shit, right? All I said was shout out to the Goon Squad.
All Chicago rappers
Mick
matter.
lives matter too.
All Chicago rappers matter.
Mick life didn't matter. Shout out to Mick, man. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I do want to say this real quick. I don't know if Brother Sadiq is still tuned in, but I had the question. I had a question. I didn't question him. I had a question for him when I came in. We've been on
about your bleeding impossible meat.
Yeah, man. I took out my impossible meat out of the freezer yesterday so I could make some something today. I don't know, tacos, burgers, something. And I looked in the refrigerator today, and it's had like a little blood in the pack. Right, I anticipate that when I take out regular meat, so I usually sit it in a bowl or in a Ziploc bag or something like that. I wasn't anticipating that from this impossible meat pack, and so I said, Brother Sadiq, my impossible meat pack had blood in it this morning when I opened the refrigerator. I'm not the smartest man in the world. Never claimed to be, Ron. You feel me? I'm just little old me. I've never seen a plant bleed before. I've never seen it. I've been looking. Actually, I haven't, but I've never seen it. Right? So I'm like, why is there blood in my impossible plant-based meat pack? And so Brother Sadiq said, man, they do that to go out their way to make you carnivores feel at home, right?
That kind of threw me off.
Yeah, he said they put something in it to try and give you a more authentic experience. I don't need it to bleed. I never want my food.
So eating healthy shit that's trying to impersonate.
Yeah. So
you're going to do some unhealthy stuff to the healthy stuff.
That's what I said. So I'm like, what does that cost me on the healthy end? They had to do something to it to make it bleed. I don't even like my food bleeding. I'm not what kind of steak person are you? Are you like one of those medium rare dudes or something?
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to eat it.
See, I never like that type of language. That's how you're supposed to eat it.
Because I'm class A.
So they say you're not supposed to eat it at all. So now you're going to tell me how I'm supposed to eat it?
I just want you to know I'm elite.
That's your barometer for elitism?
I want you to know that.
I thought it was Summer Home. Anyhow,
want you to know.
I thought it was
my medium rare steak is because I'm elite.
I like my food dead, fam. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it bleeding.
Hey, no bullshit.
Now,
I went to
if
this.
it's plugged up on the light day, we could work it
I
out.
went to this expensive elite steakhouse one day.
That's gonna go with some of y'all heads.
Right? And there was these white people in there. It looked like, what's the word I could use for these kind of white people? They were just out of the Caucasoid Mountains.
I don't have time for you, bro.
No, I'm serious. They look
One tooth?
different. No, not one tooth, but like they look like, mountain people. They look different.
Okay.
There's a different kind of energy to them.
I'm with you.
Gee, my hand to God, every person on that table that had a steak, it did not look like it touched fire.
Just sear it.
It was
Just like pan sear it.
It was disgusting looking, and they was killing.
20 seconds on that side. 20 seconds on that side.
I wouldn't even give it 20.
Run it, and they would just cut it through, and it's just leaking all over the plate.
It's leaking all on the plate.
I can't do it, G.
I could. It was the most.
I can't do it. I've gotten a little bit better from I'm not like well done like I used to be. 'Cause my mama put that on me.
When I saw that, all I kept thinking was savages.
Yeah, I'm a medium. Yeah, they used to just catch it, eat it with the fur and everything else on it.
Savages.
Just cut through it. My mama's like that. I've seen my mama literally. This is no exaggeration. I've seen my mama send a steak back like 4 or 5 times.
Dang.
It's not done enough yet for her. I'm like, BD, at this point, just don't eat it. Because I can guarantee you that whoever is cooking it is extremely annoyed by the fact that you've sent it back for the 4th time. And I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what happened to your food after that. So let's just go. But she's like that. Burgers, steak, whatever. If she can see a little bit of discolor, a little bit of pink, any of that, she ain't rocking with it. So that's kind of how I grew up. Now I'm more of a medium well person, but I'm still not like a leak. I like my food dead. Like, look, can we kill this thing first or not? But Sadiq say, well, that's the problem. We're not supposed to be eating dead things. We're supposed to be eating living plants. And so I'm moving towards that. I just had to ask Sadiq, how then is my living plant bleeding? But anyway.
But Sadiq also said people live to 300 years old. Sometimes you got to say what he said with the greatest salt.
You heard me. You heard me. I said, look, bro, I love you, right? And I defer to you on this topic. Yeah. But forgive me if I think you're lying. Okay? I was like, forgive me if I don't believe you right here, Brother Sadiq, that we're supposed to be 300. I don't even want to be 300. Okay? No diss to Chief Keef.
But a lot of that though, even in regards to like the plant-based stuff or whatever, if they putting preservatives in it, that's kind of damn.
Yeah, that's the extra. That's all the pesticides and all the stuff they do to
right?
us.
So,
but he didn't say it was a preservative. He said it was something that they put in there just to make it leak a red color.
Yeah, that's a preservative.
I don't know that it's a preservative. It's an additive. I don't know that it's a preservative.
Same shit.
No, preservatives just make
salt,
the food.
sugar to stay alive. I get it.
Yeah,
I know what it is, but what I'm saying is like when you think about like even in regards like I know there's a push to be
like they put food coloring and stuff. And then, I don't know that that's
and all that, but
I mean,
I got family like in Kentucky, for example, that like literally still lives on the farm.
Beet juice.
Everybody there lives to 127, and they be driving but they eating everything out the yard. It's meat.
It's right there,
but it's in
fresh.
The backyard.
It ain't been in nobody's truck halfway across the road.
Nobody. They eat everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, halfway across the country, right? No, I feel you on that. So Raymond says beet juice is vegan blood, and so that's what we saw. That's what we thought. I said that. Cassie said that, and Sadiq said like, no, it's something else that they doing to it to.
Steve said it's cancer. They put the cancer in.
I hate y'all so much. Why do y'all act like this?
That's hilarious.
I hate y'all so much. I don't know why y'all behave this way, man. Y'all need to see somebody about that. Your mama raised you wrong. That's what it is. That's what when Eddie Murphy was talking about doing jokes on Stevie Wonder, and dude was like, "Man, your mama raised you wrong. That's what it is." But anyway, anyhow, I'm gonna eat it either way. I was just surprised to see that there was blood in the pack. Mm-hmm. Let's settle up on our.
And I got this video. You ready to play it?
On our Cuss fund. We'll get the video in 1 second from Arsenio Hall. Let's settle up on our Cuss fund. Yesterday, the good sister Esco, after she stole like $3-4 out the Cuss jar, she thought it noble of her to keep a running tally of how often me and Tu cursed yesterday. And apparently, Tu, you cussed
14 times.
26 times. Are you 14 times? Don't worry about it. We're gonna make it work. No, wait. Don't just hold on. Just let me quarterback this thing for a second. Just relax.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
26 times yesterday you cussed. I cursed 17 times yesterday.
It was 26 times yesterday for real?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26.
I think Esco can't count. That's got to be off. It's got to be hard.
Let's go count it in pesos. This is 1,300 pesos worth of curse words. Let me stop playing. I'm sorry, Esco. That wasn't funny, but it was. Anyhow, I cursed 17 times. And so bringing us to a grand total of 43 curse words. And she gave Todd a half curse word down here.
He didn't get a half. He said it.
A half curse word down here. Okay, so $43 that we owe to the cuss jar. And Steve Jenks say 27 times in 20 minutes, right? In 2 minutes of it from you. So T. Renee on Sunday night, I don't know what she sent. I saw it on Sunday night. Sent me a message that said, yo, I want to sponsor the cuss jar fund on Monday when y'all got tired of the show. Because I know Tucson going to be cussing him out, and you too, right? And so I said, okay. She's like,
but
well,
I was reserved into the very last 5 minutes.
I think generally speaking, to the end of the show, we did very, very well. And I think which is a natural thing. We weren't trying to make it this, hostile environment. So we just weren't cursing, which is a natural flow of conversation where we just weren't cursing as much as we anticipated. But we ended up getting to 43, so we made up for it on the back end. That being said, T. Renee sent she sent $50 for the cuss fund on Sunday night just for yesterday's episode. And so we're going to put 43 of those $50 into the cuss jar today. And because she sent it to my Cash App, and I don't have time to be switching all this stuff around with you, just keep your money in your pocket. T. Renee sponsored the cuss fund jar yesterday.
We appreciate you.
So I will put the $43.
Still buy my baby some Pampers now.
You so ignorant. I will put the 20, 40, $1, $2, $3 into the cuss fund jar from yesterday, and T. Renee still has $7 in her cuss fund jar for us to get through it. I don't know that I have $7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually have exactly $7 more. So we'll leave that there, and we'll probably get through those today. Either way, I know Candace sent money. They sent them to yours yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Who sent money to your thing yesterday? Because we want to be able to say thank you.
Shout them out
for that, and we want to be able to shout them out for that piece, for sure. I know Candace and somebody else sent money. I forgot who it was.
And Kenneth Steele, shout out to Kenneth Steele.
Hey, the good brother Kenneth Steele. So they both sent like $20-something or something like that.
Yep.
And so tomorrow we'll get through. Tomorrow maybe we'll make it to Thursday or that extra because we got it's $47, right? So maybe tomorrow Wednesday we'll get through those.
Yeah, we got an interesting lineup starting. I was thinking about calling Jazz to come on the show tomorrow. Jasmine Cannon.
If you just tune in, I'm sorry, bro. If you just tune in, you're like, what the hell are they talking about all this money? Tucson and I decided that for the month of February, that we were going to do our best to not curse on the show. And if you watch I Said What I Said.
And we're failing miserably.
We curse a lot. And so we were like, to honor the ancestors, we're going to not curse. And every time we do, we're going to put a dollar in the jar. And you know what, too? We aren't failing miserably. You know what it is? We're in the wrong family, okay? Our family are a bunch of degenerates, and they refuse to have a show where they aren't cursing. And so they send money to the cuss fund jar just so they can hear us talk normal. But what we're going to do is at the end of the month, we're going to take all this money and we're going to donate it to a organization that's doing good work in the community. We've narrowed it down to a couple. And so that is what's going on with this cuss fund jar, if you were unaware. But that is sitting here, and it's well over $100 or something in here now. And we'll see. So there's $47 more already sitting in the cuss fund bank tank, if you will. I see ROW been talking about what she go, because she just want to cuss some too. ROW is drunk, by the way. So if you see her say something in the comments, just take it with a grain of salt. She been
bless her heart.
It's Loch Ness Monster birthday weekend, so they've been kicking it hard. Happy B-Day to the Loch Ness Monster. They've been kicking it hard, so ROW is filling the way. But anyway, that is the cuss fund jar. Open up the conversation, talking about, you played a video that was, denigrating black masculinity, black male masculinity. If you are a masculine male, you don't check it at the door. Don't come in here, right?
It wasn't denigrating it at all. It was just
not the video. I'm saying the
picture, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a response to it that says, "Nah, let's not be that way." But if you're ready to play the Arsenio video, oh, look at Baby Bella on the screensaver.
My young rider.
Indeed. You got the clip up. Let's flip it over. You can go ahead and play it whenever you're ready.
What's wrong with you, man? I'm black.
I'm black, man.
I'm black, man. I'm the biggest minority you know about. Huh? I'm sorry, I can't hear you, man. Why don't I have any gay guests on my show? Wait, I'm sorry, why don't I have any gay guests on my show? Well, there are a lot of gay guests who really don't like to talk about their sexual preference, so we don't know whether they're gay or not. You know? Now, this ain't Merv. You didn't think I'd run from this, did you? This ain't Johnny. I ain't gonna run from it. I'm gonna deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, who would you like me to have on my show that's gay that maybe I haven't had? Who? I don't know Gus Van Sant, but I know Elton John. He's been here and he's rocked the house. Okay? Okay? What? When Harvey has something I'm interested in, I'll bring him on the show. But this is my show, okay? This is my show. This is my show. You understand? This is my show. This is my
One
show,
more
man.
week is your show.
Right.
You think I haven't had somebody on the show because they're gay? What's wrong with you, man?
What's wrong with you, man?
I'm black, man. I'm black, man. I'm the biggest minority you know about. I don't want to hear that gay trash, man. I got gay friends I've had on the show. Because you don't know them or it ain't who you want on the show, you got a problem with it. If you want to book it, get yourself a show. Now sit down, so I can do the show.
And that's on Mary Had a Little
I've
Lamb.
had mine.
That's the end of it. No, I don't.
Wait. I apologize to you sitting out there and you sitting here. It's rude and it's out of order. The one thing I would not do is discriminate against a guest because of their sexual preference. To be honest with you, there are a lot of gay guests on this show, but it ain't none of your damn business that they're gay. That's real stupid. It's real stupid. Why don't you go over to the Johnny Carson show and ask him that question? It's a stupid, stupid question. Hey, the point is, this ain't the Morton Downey show. You. Hey. Wait.
Call him by his name, huh?
I don't do anti-gay jokes. I do characters. Just like I do McDonald's waiters. Just like I do jokes about politicians, Dan Quayle, or anybody else. I'm a comedian. Why is it that you can do a joke about anything and anybody, but when you do a gay joke, I gotta have idiots in here protesting over it? You don't see Dan Quayle here. You don't see Milli Vanilli here. What's your problem? What's your problem? Why is it that I can't do a gay character? It's a joke, man. Loosen up and enjoy it. Chill. What's your problem? I'm a minority, man. I do black jokes, I do gay jokes, I do every kind of joke you can imagine. And you don't see people up here interrupting the show and being rude like you are.
your problem, man? What's your problem? You better chill, man. You better chill. I apologize. I apologize for myself, and I apologize for them. Let's move on.
All right, we can man. I wanted to tie that in because you have the LGBTQ community, right? And again, I'm always applauding them for how they bring their issues to the forefront, right? But when that shit gets shot down, like, you deserve that too, right? Like when it gets shot down in your face, then good. You then brought that stuff to this man's show, and then he can run off. He can cite different people that are openly homosexual, Elton John and the like. Now, what's your issue now? Like, what are you saying now? But if anybody comes into a space and says, "Hey, we're gonna have a black man on your show, a masculine black man on your show," now we out of pocket. Now we toxic.
Hey, shout out to Nicole Rogers. She said,
It's OG Nicole.
2 hours later, no Arsenio.
2 hours later, no. But that's the point, right?
But that's not necessarily true though. So context.
Yeah, it took him a little while.
Context is important, and context is interesting to me, right? Because the title of that video was Black History Month, the time when first black late night talk show host in history, Arsenio Hall, checks white LGBTQ man who tried to bully him on his show. That was the title of the clip, right? I don't know where you got that clip from or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, if I remember it correctly, it was after Arsenio had the Mr. Farrakhan on his show when it got pulled.
Right.
Like, all right, you doing too much.
Now you're going too far, fam.
You're
overdoing it, fam. You're overcooking my
black
grapes.
shit on national TV, and he's unrelenting. You know what I mean? He's not docile enough. He's not shucking and jiving.
And Arsenio Hall's voice was growing. It was like expanding to a point. It was like, okay, your voice is getting too big. You crossing over to where you got commercials or movies where you got little old white ladies like talking about some woo 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 woo. Like you getting too big. You got to go.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the LGBTQ thing, but if I remember it correctly, I thought it was the Mr. Farrakhan thing that got him out of there.
Yeah.
Right, but again, context is important. You know what I mean? Context is important about the totality of the conversation. Going back to the media construct, right? So whoever put that clip out there, first time in history, they validated Arsenio by, his ability to talk to random LGBTQ dude in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that Black history? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why is that the validator? Right? Why not? I mean, the validator.
Because it's a very uncommon, weird thing to see.
No.
To see blackness push back against the power construct.
Not necessarily. And specifically at that time, because the LGBTQ community was not considered one of the power constructs at that time.
Okay.
At all. So if you turned on any rap record during that era, right? I told you this when I had that. I played old school rap on my bike that day, and I was really getting into it. You hear all kind of F words. What was that?
Did you just get naturally beeped? I mean, I don't know. I imagine it came through from the computer or something.
That was you? Oh, my God.
That was the computer.
Wait, it naturally bleeps you?
No, I don't. It didn't naturally bleep. It was just perfect time.
No, I was like, that's amazing.
It was just perfect time.
No, but I didn't say it anyway. But
right.
When you listen to the music of that era, it's just funny because now that we've been socialized in a different way, you don't even remember or you don't even think about it when you don't hear it in the concept. But when I heard that old school rap, it was every 3 words, it was a reference about homosexuality. Not in regards to homosexuals, but it's a derogatory term used against chumps. You know what I mean?
No, it took me a long time to stop using the term fag.
Yeah, never mind. But
I'm just saying because I had justified it in my mind. Like, no, I don't like. I literally mean something other than a homosexual male. Like, I mean, like I know some gay dudes who just are attracted to men, but they are men in every sense of the word. And then I know some people who, at the time, I identified as fags. Now that's not proper, and I shouldn't have said it then. And I certainly haven't said it in a long time.
Then I got to
ask. It was just
though,
how I separated the two.
Then I got to ask though, why are we so comfortable with nigga?
I agree with you. It's whack.
But we use it It's still in the rap music. It's still on television. It's not bleeped. It's not condemned.
Because you're at the bottom, sir. And who are you to tell anybody that they can't say something about you? You don't have any rights. You ain't shit.
And that's my point. So even though this happened in that moment, the moment that Minister Farrakhan came on that same exact show, because the bottom ain't never changed. You out of there, partner. You out of there, Charlie. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is the first and only at the time, probably to date, only black late night talk show host. And he was growing. He was huge. You know what I mean?
He was.
Your numbers don't matter.
He was humongous, man. Coming to America was like the best-selling movie like ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Had the two biggest, blackest comedians in it. Like,
and now his only claim to fame was I'm Eddie Murphy friend. Arsenio as a personality was growing.
Man, Arsenio.
They got him right up out of here, though, the minute he had that alignment with the Minister Farrakhan.
Yeah.
So what becomes the biggest threat to the white power structure? In my mind, it looks like black masculinity.
Bro, every time you mention black masculinity, black interest, it offends people who are closely aligned with whiteness. It just and they respond in a very visceral and emphatic way that does not address the issue. Because he said, bro, I've had a lot of my friends here who are gay. You don't know they're gay. I've had Elton John here. I've had other guests here that aren't my personal friends, but they're also gay. You don't like, but that's not the issue. Don't matter, right? We're not talking about truth here. We're not talking about what you actually did and what you actually said. We're talking about a threat to whiteness or my way of living. That is what I'm going to push back on. That is what we got to fight about. So, nah, I don't want to address your issues. I'm going to keep naming stuff that doesn't matter because that is how we do it. Two, I say it all the time. Never let a small thing like the truth get in the way of you winning an argument. It's about me winning. It ain't about us finding a common ground, having a productive conversation to move forward. I just need to win the argument. And if I got to go outside of the truth to do that, then I'll just go outside of the truth to do that. And I'll say, oh, you said this. No, the fuck I didn't. Like, but that's how it goes.
So real quick, man, Boosie asked a question in the comments. She says, question for y'all. Do you all believe race is a construct? I've heard a few black media folk I listen to say that, and I'm wondering you all's perspective. Race is absolutely a construct. Even white folks is Africans. Everybody on the planet is an African.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to leverage the word Africa, because Africa is their word too.
Right.
So we can go to Kemet or we can go whatever.
Back to the motherland. Mother is the mother. It don't matter.
Right, the mother.
Everybody's mother.
Right. The inception of humanity was Africa. Right. Everybody's in Africa.
Mama is mama.
Yeah. Mama named Clay.
I'm calling Clay.
That's all it is. So the construct is to do.
Can't believe they made that movie PG-13.
What movie?
The new Coming to America.
All right, it looks like some PG-13 stuff. It looks trash.
Yeah, it's PG-13. How could you do that to Coming to America?
But anyway. Yeah, but those constructs are to solidify the hierarchy, right? Here's where the power lies. And even in the context of Arsenio talking to that LGBTQ person in the way that he did versus him bringing on the minister at the time that he did, it shows the power of those constructs at that moment.
Big facts.
At that moment. Today, Arsenio would have lost Arsenio Hall show 30 minutes after having that conversation with the LGBTQ dude.
Cancel culture.
Oh, he definitely would have been canceled within 30 minutes after that. Because he said this statement in his rant. He said, I don't want to hear that gay trash.
Yeah.
That's enough. You out of there, boy. You out of there.
Let's go.
You out of there.
Pack your shit.
Yeah, get up out of here, Joe. Right? But there's a lesson there. Right? And the lesson is, how did they become so powerful within the span of those amount of years? Because we see, whatever the context was of that Arsenio Hall show, which was probably, early 90s? To now we 21?
Yeah, so almost 30 years later.
Right? So in 30 years, they've changed the entirety of the lexicon, at least in how you communicate around them.
For sure.
Right? Just like you can't say, I remember the Kanye song, he's like, dope dealer sell drugs, crackhead by crack, and the white man get paid off all of that. Right? On our radio stations, they bleep out white man.
But they let you say crackhead?
Oh, yeah. But they bleep out white man. But in the context of the language lexicon that we've always leveraged, at what point in time has white man been a derogatory term?
No, it's just we don't want you to. You can't say who is behind this conspiracy.
You cannot attach nothing I do
to negativity, right?
You understand what I'm saying?
Everything I do is above board, fam.
The paradigm.
Everything I do is above board because I control it.
So back to the homosexual conversation, right? If in the last 30 years they've been able to move their community from this space to this space, that's a history lesson right there. That's context. We all know that today, had Arsenio Hall been as big as Arsenio Hall was at that time,
yes,
and he had that conversation with
the
that
premier
random
nighttime talk show
guy in the audience.
He's coming off of Harlem Nights. He's coming off of Coming to America, and he has the #1 nighttime talk show in America.
Yep, and it'd have been all downhill from there, right?
Cooked.
But context is important too, right? Again, going back to the value of masculinity. At some point, just kind of like the minister say, or like Uncle Walt say, zero gray reliance. I don't care how you feel.
Don't matter.
And we got to decide how we value that, where we stand in that understanding. Do we value the person that says, I don't care, or are we just going to keep bending? Right? And how far do you have to bend before you break? Right? So going back to the Brian Gorman story, his magazine doesn't launch anymore because these stories are too black. A magazine focused on blackness. How do we get there? That's not even a logical statement to make. Who defines what's too black or what ain't black? What is that a possibility? So maybe it ain't even too black. It's too revolutionary. It's too threatening to the power structure.
There you are, sir.
It
forces
me to rethink my understanding.
There you are, sir.
Right?
You're asking me to rethink the way I do things. And it doesn't matter that what you're saying is right. Right? I'm not even addressing it from whether or not what you're saying is right or wrong. I don't want to do it. I like things as they are. Wrong, right, or indifferent. I like the way they are. So leave them that way. So don't come over here with your logic. Don't come over here with your morality. I don't want to hear it. I like it as it is. Leave it alone. Anything outside of that is a threat to how I have chosen to live, how I have chosen to be, and I am going to fight you about that. I'm going to argue you tooth and nail about that, even if what I'm saying doesn't make sense.
But where do we stand and how we respond to that, right? And therein lies the struggle.
You leave
it
it
alone.
alone.
My struggle.
You leave it alone.
You can't leave it alone. You can't leave it alone, right? Even in the context of the conversation we was having with Todd yesterday, right? I've tried my best, right? Because I don't really want to give that very much power, right?
Yeah.
But that kept being this dialogue within the comments, and even on May's show today, it was like, man, we need this. We need this intergenerational conversation.
Which we do.
Wait a minute, though. I'm not knocking that. But I want to know, if you're a listener, I said what I said, then you know we got Uncle Walt on as much as we can.
You know that we
have Mama Wade in here whenever we can.
That we speak of the likes of King Salim in such reverence.
Every day.
You know what I mean? Like,
right? So I wonder sometimes if it's I don't even wonder. It's not a generational divide.
It's not.
It's not a generational divide.
It's not.
So
it's not.
Right? So it has to be some other divide there.
I'm old enough now to where some of my very best friends could be like my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Certainly my father, right? And it's like, nah, it's not a generational divide here. I'm here. I'm clear about where I am. You somewhere else. That's fine. Be clear about where you are. That's where the divide is. It ain't an age thing. It's not a generational thing. It is I'm here and I'm telling you I'm here. You're here and you're also telling me you're here. That's where the divide is.
And the divide is...
You ain't never heard me be like, hey, let's bring some white supremacists in here to have this conversation. I know where you at. You tell me where you at, I'm cool with it. Stay there.
So we got 5 minutes before we break, and then I don't want to go no further in that conversation. But I do want to bring up a few things about that conversation, right?
15 minutes.
I mean, that's what I mean, 15 minutes before the break.
He been drinking. He been hanging out with our old double.
I watched Herb drink a Modelo. That's
right. All he smelled it.
But in that vein, though, right? We talked to Uncle Walt, and we've had conversations with Celine. We talked to Mama Wade, and every one of those conversations, all we showed was reverence.
Yeah,
that's it, right? Tone, language, whatever you want to say. It was only reverence, right?
Yeah.
And going back to Uncle Walt's conversation about sacrifice, it wasn't a sacrifice, Herb, because that wasn't our value asset.
Exactly.
Right? Now, I want this to be noted. Today, on Maze's show, he said that Todd has done more for our community than anybody else in the context of these comments because of his work as a politician. For me, which speaks to that class divide and understanding. He's only done more to us via your perspective of what's valuable. That's it. That's it. But you've made your value asset the platform in which we all should strive for. Right? I don't give a damn, and that's not about Todd. Right? Because I think the vast majority of our black politicians are black people in whiteface. What'd you say the other day? Blackface.
Yeah, this is the most blackface place in America.
Right. So, and I want to keep
in terms of representation and leadership.
And this isn't about Todd, but it's about the context in which we have conversations and how the voices that hear them shape them. Right? I told you when I went home last night, I went and listened to that conversation because I didn't feel like the comments felt. You know what I mean? And when I re-listened to that conversation, now when I went and re-listened to that conversation, I still didn't feel like the comments felt. I thought the comments were more adversarial than the actual conversation. You know what I mean? And I think that there was pushes and what's the word I want to use here? It was antagonists within the comments pushing the construct.
It's moving. It was. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish what
it was antagonists in the comments pushing an idea that nobody in here was even talking about. Yeah. So what happened here yesterday was a conversation, and then from that conversation it changed form. And everybody else starts having this conversation about a topic that we never even broached.
No.
Right?
No.
And what I learned was a valuable lesson, though. Because what I learned, even in here sitting talking to Todd, is that he is a politician, and he's a damn good politician. And in his politician style, what he did was he kept running around.
He deflects.
He deflects, right? He kept running around the questions and never answering them.
I asked him. I said, Todd, as a person who's ascended to the heights that you've ascended to, right? Do you feel there's any responsibility for you to expose or raise awareness about black interests and black issues? 30 minutes later, I didn't know what he said.
Because that was the whole conversation. It was back and forth like that. And I got a respect for that, right? Because if we're going to be in this position.
I'm not mad.
Not at all, right? But here, again, and this is where tone comes into play, right? Because there were several times I said, no, you didn't answer the question.
Right.
Stop. That's not what I asked you. Stop. No, that's not what's happening here. And maybe the way I sell that or present that has to be different, right? Because if we want the audience to hear it, if we want to get a clear understanding in the room, and we want to create a certain energy, then maybe my aggression in asking him to be forthright is the wrong way to be.
And, I'm gonna give a shout out to somebody, and I'm not going to name this person because it's not necessary for what I want to say, and I'm just not going to name the person. But they called me after the show last night. And it was like, yo, I just want to say kudos and tip my cap to the way that you and Two handled that conversation, right? In terms of trying to keep it on track and not just being this argumentative, visceral type thing back and forth, but really trying to get to a place, because that's where we were really coming. We're trying to get to a space here. If I didn't think that Todd was an extremely valuable component to our potential as a community, we don't have to have this conversation. Like, we don't have to come here and do this shit. Like, it's not necessary. If I don't think that you can provide value to our community, fuck what you're talking about. You can sit over there and say, to hell with black people. It won't make me any difference, right? But for the fact I think that you could be valuable to our community, so let's have a conversation. Let me see maybe what I'm missing. Like you said, it's about getting some understanding. You said that no less than a dozen times yesterday. This is about getting understanding so we can be on the same page here. But when you feel attacked, instantly go into defense mode, and now I got to spend an hour in a debate about whether or not summer homes is a common experience for black people in America.
But I want you to be clear, too. It wasn't about summer homes.
I fucking know that.
No. I want you to be clear about even how it got there, right? Because that became a running theme because of how, and that's why I said I learned something, and how politicians communicate, right? He took control of the conversation in that way, right? He allowed it to be confined to summer homes as a judgment, which was never the case. But again, perspective is so important, right? Perspective is so important. On the morning show this morning, he said something that he was offended by that I said about his son, about my son, that my son had the same experience as him, which I didn't say that either, right? But again, perspective is so important. In the conversation, I said that I went to an elite grammar school, which was Beasley Academic Center on what's that, 53rd or 54th and State Street. At the time that I went to Beasley, I said that was an elite school. Mays in the comments responded that is not elite, and that is not an elite school. He said, I don't know, name one of them little boarding schools. He said that's an elite school. Now I only bring this up because context is so important. Elite in whose eyes? Right. Elite by whose understanding? Right? So Todd having a summer home, or Todd coming from a family with a summer home doesn't make Todd an elite in the context of everybody. No, it doesn't. But in the context of us, yes, it does. In the context of the experience of grammar schools in Chicago, not even Chicago, nationwide at the time that I was at Beasley, it was absolutely an elite grammar school. Maybe not in the context of Bolingbrook or the Bolingbrook experience, but in regards to Chicago, it was the grammar school. So it is an elite grammar school.
No doubt.
Right? But perspective is so important, right? And that's where, and not only is perspective so important, but whether we having a conversation about Arsenio Hall and how he responded to the dude in the crowd, or him having the minister on and then they canceling the show, right? We have to decide how we line up as a group, right? I didn't compare Todd's experience to anything except the black experience. And the black experience is varying. And I tried to explain that in using the analogy of my experience and my son's experience. And I wasn't questioning his blackness. I was asking a question.
And that didn't happen.
Cool, right? But if we are going to be, what's the word I want to use here? If we're going to be participants in the construction of some kind of bridge via community, via class, via age, via whatever, we got to listen more constructively. We have to listen more constructively, right? Because that, what happened the other day, is a skill set leveraged by people to keep the masses confused. And I saw it work amazingly, even though I was involved in it, and I knew that I wasn't having that conversation. I saw it be interpreted in that way, and that worries me because I don't want nobody to be able to come in here and dominate the perspective when they leave here. You understand? Truth or not, I don't want the perspective to leave like they created one.
I think the overwhelming majority of people who tuned into that conversation yesterday were very clear that didn't happen, right? There were a few people who, in my opinion, felt attacked by proxy, right? And it turned into this whole other thing, right? Because you can't address what I'm actually saying. And so you address something that I'm not saying at all. And then you make it about that. And before you know it, we're talking about weed and Jordans, right? And nobody's talking about that. But, you know, it's a skilled way of deflecting conversation. It's easy. Passion gets involved. People get excited. And now it's just this back and forth thing where nothing's happening here. We're not accomplishing anything. And the idea for the conversation yesterday was to accomplish something. And my biggest disappointment is that nothing was accomplished, right? Nothing was accomplished. And so if we reach out to say, hey, we want to make a bridge here, somebody has to reach back, right? And there wasn't a reach back. There was just I'll listen, but only to respond, not to understand, not to comprehend, not to find some common ground, only to respond and defend my point. And it's like, we don't got to do this shit. Like, we don't have to do this. And, you know, hopefully, you know, I don't even have a hope for it, and I really don't even give a shit at this point, right? At this point, for me, it's just, okay, you're here, I'm here, cool. I'll leave you here, and I'll leave me there, just like I leave me here, and I leave the fucking Proud Boys over there. I don't got to bring like, we don't see this thing the same way. And now we had an opportunity to have this conversation and try and see if we can find some common ground, and you choose to make it about Jordan's, weed, and summer homes, or trying to convince me that every black person could or should have a summer home.
I ain't gonna get into that. And that's
Me neither.
That wasn't what
I'm done. I'm over it.
That wasn't what we was doing, right?
Like, I'm over it.
And I want to be clear again because there seems to be some misunderstanding.
I'm not trying to be clear. I said what I said.
No, I want to be clear though. But no, I want to be clear though, right? There's no disdain for Todd. There was no disdain for Todd coming in the door.
Hell no.
How Todd received that.
That's family.
How Todd received that is on Todd. And what I want to say is I'm responsible for what I say, not what you interpret. That's on you, right? But if we're going to be progressive and grow, then we've got to learn to be better interpreters.
It's not.
Right? Because I saw a magic trick take place yesterday.
Yeah, but it's just a sleight of hand thing. So it's like, oh, Todd is like, it's like they pick it on Todd taking over the show, Todd. But even this morning, Mae's like, oh, we sent the third string. What if I'd have sent Ruthie? Like, what do you mean you sent the third string? So you saying he's third string?
I hated that part of it.
I am.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, either we're having conversations to advance the black agenda or we aren't. And we don't have to agree. Again, this ain't about agreeing. I'm not even saying that I'm right. Let's have the conversation and find
there was some
right.
things accomplished yesterday.
Okay.
It was, right? Again, I told you, like, that, and that's valuable for us specifically going forward, right? Because if we're going to bring those, and not those kind of people, right? Because I know that was a term leveraged for me earlier today, those kind of people, right? I don't know what those kind of people are. But if we're going to bring in people specifically, politicians specific, that's a skill set that they have. And we got to be able to work through that. Work through it in a way where we dominate the perspective.
It's just
so
family.
that's a learning.
It's just family. We can have a conversation, right? I don't know how other people grew up.
But he kept that Stroger Hospital open, and his daddy's name is on Stroger Hospital. That don't validate nothing in the context of being more valuable to the context of the community for me, though. I want that to be
or private
very
hospital
clear.
and all. Like, cool, wonderful, amazing. Keep it rocking, right? And I don't have a problem debating with my friends, with my family. I don't know how other people grew up. I grew up in a house that had 5 boys in it. Arguing is what we do when you fucking wake up. We can have this conversation, right? It ain't no animosity, right? I don't want to fight about it. Or maybe it does escalate into a fight. Then we'll have a fight. Then we'll come back in the house and we'll be cool. It ain't that deep, right? Like it's not that deep. At least not from as far as I'm concerned. It ain't that deep. It's just we need to be able to have conversations. And if we're gonna have them, let's have them in an honest place. Let's implement our arguments with fidelity and not just be here to win a discussion, because that shit is whack. We're gonna take a break. We come back from break. We'll have more conversation on the other side of this. Can we bury this? Are we done?
I was done already.
I know you're done. I know you're done with it. I'm done with it. I don't want anything else to do with it.
We done.
I'm here.
Plug out. We on some ratchet shit. It's
there.
Tuesday.
We finna bounce, man.
I'm gonna let you have Tuesday is your honor today. We're gonna do ratchet shit for her.
Hey, bop. Anyway, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna turn up a little bit, man. I hope y'all are feeling good on this here Tuesday. My name is Herb. His name is Tu. Ron is in the production studio. This is I Said What I Said. We'll be right back.
WIIFTBPM.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information, or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
What's in it for the black people? That which we invent, of course. Let's see if we could list some black inventors using the letters WIIFTBP. Here it goes. J.T. White invented the lemon squeezer. A.C. Richardson made an insect destroyer gun. Isaac Johnson made improvements to the bicycle frame. Robert F. Fleming Jr. made the guitar. Valerie Thomas hit us with the illusion transmitter. Ow! Purdy Jaguar gave us the folding chair. Now, go create some stuff. Make us proud, black people. It's legacy time.
Chip on my my shoulder, big as a boulder. From all the years I've been doubted, left out, and simply looked over. Like niggas ain't see the massive potential. I see murder weapons where all you see is a pad and a pencil. I do for self, I learned you worth more when you ask for nothing. Thoughts of killing shit, my brain's a weapon of mass destruction. Nuclear thoughts lead to atomic verses. Me and Max attack with a common purpose. I stole them niggas, you stole out your mama purses. You bitch niggas been disloyal since KB Toys. The streets gave me poise. No Melvins, just a bunch of Rodneys and baby boys. Listen, I'm not the one that you should try your luck with. Get abducted, fucked up, and then left in a rusted bucket, biatch. Sick train of thought, only y'all can conduct it. Just when they thought I was dusted and not a touch, I adjusted, and bounced back like I had Spalding on me. I am God, the clouds open, now the sun's rays is falling on me. To the heavens is calling on me, my shit gon' be elite. Your shit is mystery meat, you say it's beef, but it's all baloney. And fuck these niggas and all they homies, they all is phonies. I'm riding till the wheels fall off this bitch and it's stalling on me. It's alarming these rappers think that we all in the same ballpark. Fuck y'all thought the disrespect is appalling. Standing over the witch's cauldron, concocting murderous plots to help me further my spot. Guess you can say I'm stirring the pot. Heard a lot of niggas think they fucking with the overlord or going overboard. Potent dope that spoke from vocal cords. The key to success is possessing a gift that can open doors. Therefore the flow is nasty like infected open source. You a knight in rusted armor, equipped with a broken sword. Throwing rocks at a fire-breathing dragon, provoking wars. These is more than rhyming words, my nigga. I'm no thesaurus, I'm too complete for you to compete. My shit deep as the ocean floors. But yet I'm barely scratching the surface. Trust me, it's more to come. So motherfucking hot, I ignore the sun. Imagine if Yvonne Thomas ignored the conscience and chose to abort a son. We never would've got to bear witness to this historic run. It's effortless when I spit these descriptive works of art. I hurt your heart with these harsh realities till it burst apart. It's feeling like I'm about to have a great year. I take the fear and hate here and turn it into Shakespeare, motherfucker. Fuck you mean, bitch.
Hey, Tool, let me test your work. Hey, Herb, let me test your work.
You about that life? I'm about that life. You ain't really. Let me test your work. Boss, you the boss? Let me test your work. Jesus, you talking breezy? Let me test your work. Cam, you the man? Let me test your work. Dre and Snoop, like that chronic, I need something stronger. Molly cute, that's like an aspirin for my daughter. Big time, in the club with a case of Ace, and now I sniff that whole table. Scarface, another court case. I'm a frequent offender. When Wyclef was hot, I was gone to November. 6 years, hard time. Bobby was fucking up, Whitney could've been mine. We would've been so high and so in love. When Amy Winehouse died, I could've saved her. I could've smoked like half of that. She wouldn't have had to go in cardiac arrest. Hands up under her dress. Lindsay Lohan her mess, but I still cope above her breast. I must confess, I heard from a little birdie. Bring some crystal meth, you can get that from Fergie. Had a real nice dream, me and Charlie Sheen. Few Playboy bras, I was high in Rob Ford. Brick after brick, like Shaq at the free throw. I stayed hard, I put coke in my mix.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
And we are back. We are live from inside the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Tucson Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. Each and every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., we get together right here with you guys and we discuss issues that are impacting the black community, how they impact us as individuals, but also as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is extremely appreciated. Anything you want to add to the discussion, feel free to do so. We will continue to read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. It is 5 o'clock, and we like to get a little bit excited. What you got going on, bro?
So look, there's a language barrier. We've acknowledged that. Right? Slow down. There's a language.
Because you know me, man.
Wait. Stop. Don't go no further.
All right, come on.
Listen, let me do my intro.
Come on,
There's a language barrier. We have to acknowledge that. And it being the Ratchet Hour, I wanted to bring somebody who could provide a language that we can understand.
Let's bring.
While getting us to the goals we want to achieve.
I'm with you, my brother.
Let's rock.
What we got?
Let's get down to the fine print, a.k.a. the shit you fail to read right before you sign your identity over to Facebook and TikTok. The reason you spend more time taking shit than making shit. The reason you have absolutely no authority in the place you call your city. The reason your demand for respect falls on deaf ears. The reason your attempt to gain power conflicted like a gay Christian dating site. And I want to be really clear, so I'm going to slow this shit down never. Wrong bus for us. Go chase another one, fucker. Who think they got clout in this bitch? Who think they got authority in this bitch? Who think they got power and respect? Put your hand down, nigga. Even your kids call you by your first name. Well, let me whip out my clout meter so we can get an accurate assessment of how much authority and respect you really got. Let's say you own a barbershop or maybe you do hair. One day you working in your salon, got the news playing in the background and your mayor pop up on the local news saying, due to the pandemic, she think barbershops and beauty salons is a health hazard. As a result, she proposing a bill to prohibit patronage at barbershops and salons because it's not like a grocery store where people is in and out for basic necessity. People actually sit in barbershops and salons for hours. It's like church, but without the magic tricks. Niggas sitting around smearing chicken grease on magazines and brochures increase the risk of contacting the virus. What you gonna do? Who you gonna call? And how much impact do you think your call gonna have on that situation? You heard the African proverb, huh? If you wanna go quickly, go alone. If you wanna go far, go together. Proverb, that shit sound like a masturbation joke to me. Here's a better question for you. How quick can you organize and mobilize a community of people, entrepreneurs, barbershop and salon owners alike? How quickly can you pull together as a collective and strategize to shut that boat and spill the fuck down? How do you cut the funding that made your mayor's election possible in the first place? Welcome to the real America, nigga. Bitch, fuck your feelings, I'm real. I could unplug the clout barometer right now. For most of y'all, the needle wouldn't even budge. But you don't get it, huh? You are only as powerful as your community, nigga. Niggas stay talking about how much they know the black community and still don't know they real daddy live right up the fucking street. Niggas swear they running shit. You ain't running shit but bales of modern day cotton until you can effectively organize and mobilize. That's the real measure of clout and power in this America. Here go another. Let's say a great money-making opportunity to buy land or open a franchise in your community arises. Let's say you can get the shit for dimes on the dollar. How quickly can you organize a group of people with similar interests, special interests, to do the due diligence, analyze, run the numbers, and make that purchase as a collective?
That part.
Is it me or do it smell like cricket shit in this bitch? When you fail to organize and mobilize as a collective, you fail to have a voice. You fail to have a choice, nigga. Non-consensual, political, and financial sodomy.
Hey, I don't know who dude is.
Tijuana Jackson.
Okay.
Romney Malco.
Okay. I like it.
I think we need to start having conversations just like that.
I don't know that I can talk like dude.
I'm a learn.
I don't know that I can talk like dude, but I appreciate the video. And I appreciate everything he had to say. I think it's extremely valuable, man. Everything, it don't matter. If you're not organizing, you're not mobilizing, you're not strategizing, then what the fuck you doing? You're just running your mouth. Like, and so that is why I like truly appreciate this I Said What I Said family, man. It's not a place where we just want to come and just chop it up. It's a place where we really want to mobilize, organize, strategize, and bring everybody's ideas to the table.
I played that video because it's the 5 o'clock hour, and it's purposefully done in the way it's purposely done.
Mm-hmm.
Dude has a documentary called Tijuana Jackson about he made this whole character up. Dog. Dude is brilliant, right?
Yeah.
But this dude comes out of jail with this idea.
Oh, I know the dude.
Yeah,
I've seen
Romney
and I've
Malcolm
seen
been
the
in a bunch
thing.
of the movies.
I seen the thing. I was getting my haircut in the barbershop one time, and I saw the movie. It just dawned on me. I seen the movie.
Bunch of movies. So the movie got some kind of like independent film award or whatever.
Yeah, no, I seen the thing you talking about. Yeah, I recognize the actor, but I've seen that thing you talking about.
But everything he said had value,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he communicated it in a way that the vast majority of youth hear,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't even want to say youth because that's a misnomer. I think the vast majority of people born in my generation or later,
Man,
this is what they hear.
We're
And
older.
they can't hear it no other kind of way. Part of why we curse on the show, like we doing the ancestors thing and we honor the ancestors because we are the bridge. We are the gap in a lot of ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is we know what you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And we add a motherfucker so the ignorant niggas hear me.
Mm-hmm.
It's on purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't get the messaging out, if we don't change how we are kind of blindly being led astray, away from our birthright, away from our understanding of what progression looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk all this, it always amazes me how we talk hyper-capitalism in our community, and I know the real numbers. Right? Even in regards to the summer home shit, which is comical, not in regards to the context of Todd having one.
Sure.
Todd's daddy's name is on buildings in this city.
Right.
It makes sense for Todd to have a summer home.
Right.
But the vast majority of the people in the comments, your daddy's name ain't on no buildings here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So you live in a very normalized black life. And that is a normalization of black life in America, specifically around money. Right? So that we not a monolith bullshit, maybe not how you feel.
Right.
But when you look at that bank account, we monolithic than a motherfucker.
Right.
Which is why I can make a statement comfortably and say to be in the top 1% of black families, all you need is $120,000 a year.
The problem is,
And that ain't nothing.
It's not. But the problem is, if I have the 100 though, and I choose to take the 100 and then look down at whoever got the 40, there's the problem. I got $60,000 more than you, and I feel like I am.
To Romney's to Tijuana Jackson's
Kick
point,
rocks
though.
with your like.
But to Tijuana Jackson's point, Romney Malcolm's point, that ain't nothing until you recognize what community means.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. That don't mean nothing until you recognize what community means. You ain't in control. You ain't running nothing. You still pushing cotton. That's what he said.
I heard him.
Right. So I can get caught up in that if I want to, but I know better because I know the numbers. Right. But without knowing the numbers, and again, context is always important. Right. When we look at the comments, people justifying the summer home as a normality in our community. Right. It's because media influences or media dictates. We live in TV. We need to separate ourselves. And let me not say we live in TV, because we live in YouTube. We live in whatever media outlet they produce. Right? We ingest more media than any other race of people ever, always.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that becomes our belief system. It becomes our structure, our understanding. But the reality of what's going on in our lives is not Desperate Housewives. I mean, or Real Housewives of Atlanta, or Candy from Escape, whatever show they on. It ain't that. It ain't Instagram models. It ain't that. It ain't the lives that people are projecting on Instagram. It ain't that.
Nah, it's not real.
That ain't real. Right? So, but what is real is the influence that stuff has. But the data
That's
is the data.
very real.
The data is the data, right? So when you know that more than 50% of black households, I think it's less than 60, but more than 50, dual income ain't making $50,000 a year. You having a summer home is an idea that you should never find comfortable because you don't have a home. That's the real numbers, right? You can't. We having a fight for 15 right now. Who you think is fighting for 15, fam? Who you think is fighting for 15? Somebody help me. Can I get an amen from the church?
Amen.
Who the fuck you think is fighting for 15?
Right.
And you can't work a minimum wage job nowhere in America today and get a 1-bedroom apartment. Nowhere in America.
Right.
Right?
Right.
No, back alley, Arkansas, you can't get a 1-bedroom apartment for a Hardy's job, homie.
Average rent in America is more than you can meet with minimum wage.
Period. Right? So to the Tijuana Jackson joint, to the conversation we was having with the good brother Todd, which was not a question of his value or the value that his family imposed on him. Salute you. Until we get commonality, real commonality and stop promoting these false ideas that we not a monolith. Because where it fucking matters, we monolithic as it gets.
Yeah.
You might dress different. You might like boys. You
Don't
might
matter.
like girls.
You might sell dope.
You might do all that. But where it matters, we all in the same place.
We right here, fam.
We all in the same place. We all in that barrel that y'all think crabs is fighting each other to pull back into. It's the barrel, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
We can't seem to rationalize the understanding that we all in the same goddamn barrel.
Yeah, we don't want to be, right? So I don't want to be associated with the downtrodden amongst us, right? Fool, we all downtrodden. Varying degrees of poor. I've been using that phrase when I say what I said since we started. Varying degrees of poor. Now, if your poor is 10,000 or your poor is 110,000, fam, poor. Understand that, right? I don't mean poor like you don't know where your next meal coming from, poor. But like in the construct of what we talking about this money thing, where on the same continuum you swear that you're playing a game in, you got the likes of Koch brothers and Jeff Bezos and everybody. Stop it.
There's a reason.
You're not on the chart. You're literally not on it. No matter how we try it and make this plain, you show your chart. You're not on the chart. We show you rice. You never seen that much rice in your life.
There's a reason why we
can't make it clear
identify
to
with
you.
athletes and entertainers the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are the wealth position in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing you got to know about athletes and entertainers, somebody's paying their check.
I ain't talking about rich. I'm
Yes,
talking
it's
about
a
wealthy.
different understanding.
Shaq is rich. The white man who cuts his check is wealthy. That is Chris Rock.
Chris
at his
Rock.
finest.
I live next door to a dentist. He ain't the greatest dentist in the world. You don't know what his dentist name. He's a dentist.
For a black man to live next to me and to be a dentist, you know what you have to do? You have to invent teeth, man.
Context is important, man.
Like, let's just be for real for once. And so when you talk about, and so that's one of the things about the cursing, right? And you talk about how dude presented it. Man, it's just there's a way to communicate. And
I want to pull something up too when we get a chance.
cool, whenever you're ready. If you don't like the way we talk, that's fine. I can understand how it can be off-putting, right? But if you can't get past it for the larger good of the conversation, what that tells me is there is absolutely zero chance of you getting past that when it's time to meet people on the street, when it's time to get in the community. I don't like the way they talk. I don't like the way they look. If you can't get past the way I talk, when I know full well that I have as good or better a command of the English language than most people, if you can't get past the fact that I choose to curse when I choose to, how the fuck you gonna talk to somebody who don't even know some of these doggone words, let alone use them? Like but I'm just like, all right, cool. We roll with who we rolling with. We roll with who we are rolling with.
Pull my screen up, bro.
You look at the computer screen?
Yeah.
Got you. It's up.
And shout out to Cherie. She sent me these a while ago.
Cherie. I
Right.
love Cherie so much, man. She
Black
is so
income
much.
from Reagan to Obama.
Yeah.
Right? That's 1980 to 2016. What does 2016 say for the median income for black income?
2016 says the median income for black folks is 35 grand. 35 grand? Is that what that says?
No, that's 2020. That's 2014. 2016 it says 39,000. That's the median.
Okay.
Right? That's the middle. That means there's 50% of us below that.
Mm-hmm.
Miss me with all this wealth talk, family.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from Jimmy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
At 29, we made $10,000 since Jimmy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Miss me, bro. Learn the numbers before you hit me with these wealth ideas.
Yeah, but if I got the right belt, and I drive the right car, and I have the right address, then
Again,
why doesn't everybody?
2017 census, because there was some confusion in the comments about it, that the numbers was real.
Kills me, bro.
Median family income, black, $49,549. That's it, family. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
We ain't off-putting here. We poor.
Yeah.
We poor. And we don't understand the context of wealth calcifying. So even though we getting less, the numbers is low, we don't need, the value of the money ain't the same.
Nah.
It ain't even the same. I took it off. You can take it off. right? And she sent me like a whole bunch of other stuff too, man. I wish I could post these numbers somewhere else, like publicly. It's ridiculous.
Sure, one of
it's
my favorite.
ridiculous.
Sure, one of my favorite cuts.
The numbers is ridiculous, G.
She's absolutely hilarious, and she's brilliant.
And we're moving into the age of automation. So we fighting for 15. By the time 15 gets imposed, 15 will have zero value. 15 will be 6.
You sent me something about cars. Yeah, self-driving cars.
Yeah. Like we always talk about how stuff is coming. Stuff is here, bro.
Yeah,
it's already here.
It's already here. You sent me that on Sunday, about the cars, like just driving. But you know what I'm saying? Every single time I get in my car, right? Every single time I start my car, it's cold. I start the car before I come outside. If I get close enough to the back door, then my car takes over my phone, right? And what my car does, or my phone is really doing this, but it tells me where I'm going, right? As soon as I walk up to my car, my phone tells me where I'm going. I ain't put nothing in, Ron. I ain't put no address. I ain't asked Siri shit. All I did was walk to my car, and it tells me, based on what day of the week it is, what time it is, and my normal pattern of my schedule. It tells me where I'm going. So every time I come here, start my car, it says, go that way, 14 minutes to get to such and such, such, such address. Every single time I get in my car, no matter where I'm going. And if it changes, right, it doesn't just say here because I come here most often, right? Like on Saturday, I do a show somewhere else. On Saturday when I leave my house,
it knows
says,
what day it is.
You're going that place.
You're going that way. Mm-hmm.
Like
Tesla updates overnight.
It's unbelievable.
It does. Updates overnight, right? Whatever new experience that the Tesla has, it puts it into the understanding of the computer. And now it's going to normalize that experience, right?
G.
When the car, I got this video up. Let's play this video because the dude who jumps in it talks about the new experiences that he's experienced and just riding this joint.
Go ahead, you got it.
Good morning, Jesse. This car is all yours with no one up front. Doors are closing.
Steve said.
He's so stupid. Hey, Steve, I hate you, bro.
Make sure your seatbelt is fastened. For any questions, press the help button to speak with a rider support agent.
Why my man breathing so hard?
Yeah, he need to be walking that little route he got to go to.
Is this an Uber?
I don't know. It must be one of them kind of services, but it definitely.
It got the divider right there.
They got the West Coast. They West Coast riding though. I know that. Definitely West Coast.
So, if that's what they're.
But check him out. He riding right. He starts to give some color commentary. He was like, "Last time I was in it, it could break."
Oh, I did not think it make left turns, but it do.
But it do.
Right.
Last time it didn't make any left turns.
But last time it didn't make left turns.
It's getting better and better.
It's learning.
Yes.
You understand? It's adapting.
Yes.
Right? I had a different experience. Now I can turn left against traffic.
Yes.
This is a civilian. This ain't no scientist in the back of this damn car.
Right.
This ain't special.
Right.
He called this car service to come get him.
And the car is just driving.
It's over for you, Uber.
I don't need an employee. I don't even need a independent contractor.
Man, it's over, G. It's over.
But you know who else is over for? Because what do you say black people do the majority? We 2% in the private sector, right? At most, right? So what we got? A lot of what? Bus drivers? A lot of delivery, package truck drivers?
Everything we do is attached to service.
This car is taking me
If that delivery truck start driving itself,
don't need you.
Or they start delivering them via drone out the air.
Don't need you, G.
CTA buses start driving themselves.
All your homies, they be like, I'm finna go get this CNA when everything else fails. That's a wrap.
Trains already pretty much drive themselves. They just got somebody in there.
Yeah, that's it, though, G. That just blew my mind, though, G. Like, the conversations that we have, we talk about, like, they're coming. Now they here, bro.
It's off the meat rack, dog.
They here.
Yeah.
And you can call them and jump in them. You understand? This ain't a concept no more. They're doing it.
It's
now.
happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Right? So that 5 years I gave y'all, 2. It's down to 2 now. Right? I think they say every 4 years, technology begins to operate squared. Right? So the time it gets produced is squared every 4 years. So the rate that it's moving is like hyperspeed at this point. So if you are seeing this on the street where a consumer can call it, you are a fool to assume that an 18-wheeler ain't got this technology.
They already ahead
you
of
are
you, Jack.
a fool to assume CTA ain't looking at this technology.
Airplanes.
This ain't about you driving from your house to your job. This is about your job not existing.
So listen to me. Let me just say this here, and we can be done with how realistic it is. They continuously, ever so often, send an entire flying object to space with no one in it. You know what I'm saying? They just did that a few months ago. Sent the whole doggone plane, whatever you want to call it.
And it lands and it let cameras come out of it.
It's all good. It lands, it sends, and it didn't go up there just to go. It's going up there to gather information. I don't got to send nobody. I'm going to send this thing up there, right? By itself. It's going to land on the moon, Mars, wherever I tell it to land. Then we're going to open the door. It's going to send out some robots to gather data. What? And send it back to me. What? Fam. If we don't start looking inside, internally, and collectively for answers for how we can sustain ourselves, we are going to be non-existent. Or we can, claw to see, scratch and claw and see, oh, maybe I can, carve out my niche. Good for you.
No, they planning on doing space trips now. They already got that in effect.
Bro, I know because they fucked up Earth.
Not like you could literally take a plane that flies right above and right below space, right above.
What I'm saying is, the moment they start offering private trips to outer space, the next thing to do is to live there. You know what I mean? We could go visit it for a minute, but then we're gonna live there. And who gonna be able to go? Not your black ass.
White people.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a game, right? And so we can claim to be so different if you want about Jordans or summer houses. But fam, look around for real. Either we come together and try and build things as a collective, as a unit, where everybody is genuinely invested in the success of everybody else, or we cooked. That's it. That's it. Maybe not in your lifetime, but in your child's lifetime or your grandchild's lifetime. And if all you're gonna do is say, well, let me prepare my child to be alone and independent, do their own thing, cool, do your thing. How you think how you think gonna go for them when they the only black person left? Like, it's like whatever. That's how I feel. That's where I am with it. And if you feel differently and you somewhere else with it, then cool. But I'm saying that now is the time that we really need to figure out how we can work as a unit, as a cohesive unit to achieve common goals. And so, like, theoretically, that's what we're doing here, right? That's what's in it for the black people is. It's a bunch of people like, yo, we can all come together and do something dope. Yeah. In theory, that'll work.
But what would be dope is creating the theory. That's what would be dope, right? What's the value asset, right? This stuff matters. This stuff matters because we're subservient in the design. We're subservient in the design, right? He jumped in that Uber or whatever it was to take him shopping.
That's bananas, though, G.
Right? It's bananas. It is bananas.
Hey, would you trust it?
I don't now, but you're going to be socialized too. It just is what it is.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't trust getting in a stranger's car, but we do it all the time now.
You're right.
Right? You get that's what I mean. The media socializes you to do stuff you would never do.
And the data's gonna show that they have fewer accidents.
Our whole childhood was designed around staying away from strangers. Today, parents send their children off with strangers confidently.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
They can socialize you to believe anything.
That's real. Stranger danger.
You are the robot, bro.
I'm gonna sit.
That's what Romney Malcolm's
Dan
conversation
will be to
was
pick you
about.
up in a green Corolla. Stand outside the school. Okay.
That's what Romney Malcolm's conversation was about, though. You ain't in control of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't even in control of your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, right? We laughing, but stranger danger was a commercial that came on TV.
I'm dead serious.
All day long.
Yeah.
My son and his friends got Uber apps on their phone, bruh, and Ben had them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the rebels like, nah, John, call me.
I had an Uber a few months ago.
I refused to let my daughter jump down, but her friends be like, I'm an Uber over there. Fam, you 12. Why is somebody comfortable with this?
Look, I had Uber a few months ago. The wrong cop pulled up. They weren't even in the car that said the Uber said it was gonna be, but they pulled up like, yo, do you such and such? I'm like, yeah, you the Uber? Yeah, it just don't got the right car on there. I said, all right, fam, I hop right in the back.
Yeah, El Dum Dum.
Bro, I've been sitting on at random stoplights or random corner, or just parked on the block, and random such and such person that just like tried to open my back door.
Ann Bueller said we stay in strangers' homes, Airbnb.
Yeah.
We do everything that we said we shouldn't do.
I've rented out my basement to, I would say, no less than 1,000 people I've never seen or heard of before have walked into my basement since I reconstructed it. Because you put it on Peerspace and the people just rent it out for all kind of baby showers, business meetings, birthday parties, painting sips, whatever.
But that's we can leverage Uber, we can leverage Airbnb because we're experiencing that. That's happening now, right? And we're in a generation that kind of is a bridging generation, right? Our children ain't gonna know nothing different than jumping in the Uber. They ain't even gonna know an understanding of stranger danger, right? So going forward, their history or their reference point to history is gonna start at getting in the car with strangers, right? Context is always important, which is why I said we got to create the theory. Because with every new generation, we start creating new theories, and our new theories are usually based on what media has marketed to us. Right, the culture becomes a hip hop culture. Ain't a culture. The culture becomes a blues culture. It ain't a culture. Culture becomes a drill music culture. It ain't a culture. It ain't. We don't have an identity, and it keeps going around and around in circles. So we have these conversations about class because we ain't wrapped in identity. We define ourselves by our proximity to and away from whiteness. That's your value asset. And I don't give a fuck how high in these conversations go. It's going to always come back down to that. Until you decide, did black mean some shit?
Yeah.
Eternally, forever.
But it don't.
That's a choice we've made.
Right.
And we can choose different.
If I can find a buck out of it, then fine, it makes sense. Then I'll use my blackness for a buck. But if I'm not really, you know what I mean? Like, it's frustrating, man.
Jay-Z is a community leader.
It's really frustrating.
Jay-Z is a community leader at this point.
No, he is.
Kanye is a community leader at this point.
He is.
Miss me with any validity in rational and irrational. Miss me. Right? Miss me, G. Miss me. We go home and we watch this whole month because it's February. They done had the Malcolm movie with King and all them in the room. Sam Cooke, all them. Right? Then you
One Night in Miami.
One Night in Miami movie. You get the Fred Hampton
Malcolm
movie.
and Marie.
Malcolm and Marie. All this black content. Right? And I don't want to use Malcolm and Marie, but I think that's valid, but in context of what I'm saying. But the One Night in Miami.
Black love.
Surely it was. But One Night in Miami, right? Fred Hampton, right? These people shape generations, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They shape generations.
For sure.
The only person in that room with the Malcolm in them that died with any money, was going to die with any money.
Was the one dude who was like, I hear y'all, but.
No, the one dude that died with some money, with any money, was Muhammad Ali. Any money.
I thought you were gonna say it was Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke was getting money, but well, he died with money too. But his life was cut so short. Just over
I feel you. I feel you.
Right. But these people shape generations, and if we juxtapose them people into today, we wouldn't value nobody in that room. No, with the perspectives that they had.
No, but you know what, man? One of the most interesting things that came from Judas and the Messiah was when the chairman was talking about the fact that, you know, outside of Dr. King and Malcolm X, who are the leaders? Right? He was like, outside of them, like who's leading us here? You know what I mean? Well, you got a 21-year-old dude who may be the next biggest voice outside of Dr. King and Malcolm X. Where's everybody else?
I think that's short-sighted too.
I'm just telling you what he said. I mean, I know it's a movie, right? I don't know that this was a quote from him or not. But it struck me as powerful to be a line in the movie because even then, it's like, how many community leaders do we have? How many people are really like, yo, this ain't the move? Because everybody was striving toward whiteness. Even in that moment, right? They had come out of the necessity to shelter inside of blackness. And now I'm just trying to move closer to whiteness. And that's what everybody was on, except for a few people. And that's even then. Now, come on, man. Like, you even now, post Breonna Taylor, post George Floyd, post anybody you want to pick, you still won't find a black person that stand on national TV, say kill all the pigs, total satisfaction. You won't find a person that stand on TV and say, ain't gonna be no killing without no killing. Even now, G.
You won't find one to say,
I know who you going.
I don't want to hear that gay trash.
Okay? Arsenio Hall, you know what I'm saying? The revolutionary Arsenio Hall. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different thing, man. It's not you're not afforded the space to be.
But why won't you find that? Why can't you find that?
Because everybody's moving toward whiteness, and anything that offends that is counterproductive to my mission.
Yeah, but if you really about your mission, then none of that should be a hindrance. Right.
That is my mission, right? So if my mission was black liberation, advancement of black people, then no, I wouldn't really care about that. But the vast majority, my mission ain't black liberation. It ain't advancing black people. It is how much closer to whiteness can I get? And me talking this pro-black stuff or this anti-police stuff or this anti-white supremacy stuff, if that is a hindrance to my upward mobility within the system of whiteness, I ain't doing that. I ain't saying it. Fuck you niggas. Pull yourself up by the bootstrap.
But again,
stop buying Georgia and get a summer home.
But that's context too, though, right? Just like we said the other day in watching this movie, it's people in this city who didn't know who Fred Hampton was. Mm-hmm. People in my generation. Mm-hmm. So I know it's people in your generation. I know it's people in Ron's generation don't know who King is.
Not for real.
I ain't trying to be funny. They don't know. They don't have any context, right? But that goes back to the same issue. We are defined by what the opposition tells us we are, because we're only tuned in to that source of information, right? Somebody in the comments said when we showed the self-driving car, and they was like, in the schools they still teaching social studies. Like, think about how far you are off. When you got self-driving cars in 8th grade, you got to pass social studies. Not knocking social studies, there's value there. You know what I mean? But you ain't teaching robotics, not in the average public school, and most of our children go to public schools.
I saw a tweet or a post.
Not even the average charter school. You're not teaching robotics.
Nah.
Not the ones we attended.
No. I saw a tweet or post or something that said, I can remember growing up and, you know, adults drilled in us relentlessly the concept of stop, drop, and roll. Nobody showed me how to balance a checkbook. So I've never once in my life been on fire. I've been in debt for a long time.
I almost caught on fire. Stop, drop, and roll is very, very important.
You almost caught on fire?
It's very, very important.
Say more.
I burned down some shit before.
No, say more. Fuck that. What do you mean you almost caught on fire? And again, not again, but let me all due sensitivity to anybody who's ever been
Shout out to Bueller who
engulfed in
says
flames.
diet has a robotics program. I didn't know that.
Anybody who's ever been engulfed in flames. How much you need?
That's a problem.
We still spending T money right now. We still spending T Renee's money right now. Hers is gone now.
I would put my 2 in there. But, yeah, man, I caught on fire.
That
I
two
didn't
came
catch
from
on
that.
fire, but I fell asleep trying to cook french fries. And the grease was still going, and it caught on fire, and I was done.
And then you threw water on it?
Water on it. And everything went crazy real quick. You know what I mean? It got real crazy real quick. Scared the shit out of me. Another one. Put my dollar in there.
Okay, Richard Pryor.
Yeah, it was Richard Pryor. That's about to be my story. I was heating up some milk and cookies and the bomb went off. It was bad, G. It was like a bomb went off. I ain't never seen that move that fast.
Oh, it happens quick, G. Fire.
It's very serious.
Fire is not a game, right? And I'm gonna come back to that piece, but it's serious though, right? How many times did people tell you stop, drop, and roll? How likely is it? Never mind that it almost happened to
In
you.
that moment, it was very likely it served me well.
Serves you well.
And guess what?
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong.
That was in that moment. That was more valuable than any balancing of any checkbook that could have existed.
You're missing the point.
I'm just
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. The point is, it's not that I'm anti stop, drop, and roll. It's valuable, right? But nobody's teaching you about finances and economics. Is it more likely that you're gonna get yourself in debt coming out of the black community, or that you're going to be
It's gonna keep you
set
powerless.
ablaze?
It's gonna keep you powerless. But again, even to balance finance and economics, you got to have finance and economics.
I'm not blaming anybody.
No, I ain't blaming either. But I'm saying it's all part of the paradigm, right? So that becomes even in the HR 40 conversations, right? You have these elitists, and I'm saying that on purpose. It's specific for a reason. They say that we need to just learn how to balance and deal with finances. You can't balance and deal when it ain't no money there. It ain't nothing to balance. Right, but that's how they shape-shift the conversation. Instead of giving you reparations, which you just do, what you're owed, they confuse the conversations with, well, you don't know how to manage no money. No, it ain't no money to be had, bro. Ain't no money here. With the median net worth is the median income is what I just pulled up for 2016 was $36,000. Then that means 50% of us are below that. What you talk about manage?
That's real.
Manage what?
Manage what? I'm just trying to keep the lights off, Phil.
Bro, I'm eating ramen every day. What you mean manage? Man, get out of here.
Wait, can I ask you a question? You trying to tell me that with my 39 G's, I can't have a crib in Chicago and then have another crib in the summertime with my 39? Let me stop. I'll be back.
I mean, if you stop buying Jordans, it's possible.
It's those 2 ounces of weed that's
It's those 2 ounces of weed.
Those 2-3 ounces of weed is what's really keeping you from that summer home.
That weed is killing you.
Stop
eating McDonald's.
What, Rod?
Making me feel guilty.
Listen, let me ask you this, bro. What is the worst way to die? Like, what would be your
Any
least
way is the worst way.
dying ain't that bad? First of all,
Oh, you been there before?
once or twice.
Okay.
I'm saying we all gotta go. Is what I'm saying. Like we all up out of here, fam. I'm saying, what is your least preferred way of going? Drowning or fire?
Well, this is tie. Make it quick for me.
Drowning or fire, man?
Quick and painless. I don't want either of them, bro.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want that smoke. Like literally,
I've been in both
don't
situations. I don't
want
like either
that
of them, homie.
smoke.
I don't
fam.
want either of them, Joe.
I don't want it.
It's terrifying.
Like drowning?
Both of them is terrifying.
Like to literally desperately be seeking out your next breath and you just can't get it. I just want one more breath. I can't get it.
Sucks ass.
And then what's that motivational speaker name? The dude tough. I don't know whatever his name is, but I like his motivational speeches. But he say, man, until you want to succeed as much as you want your next breath, you ain't gonna be successful, fam.
Yeah, whatever.
When you want that next breath, you will do anything. Okay, you whatever.
And that's some BS too. That's what they put on black people, right? You know what the key? Where's my phone? Because this is
he be talking to black people.
Yeah, he be talking to black people. Let me tell you what the keys to success for white folks are.
Uh-oh.
Because I got them right here.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to find them for you. Here they are right here. 7 secrets of highly successful people. But they meant to put white people. 7 secrets of highly successful people.
White people.
White people were supposed to go in front of people. Private school.
Privilege.
Legacy. Ivy admission.
Private school.
Nepotism higher. Seed capital from family.
How many of these words did I hear yesterday?
Club memberships.
Wait.
Personal assistant, nanny, ghostwriter, journalist who asks, "What's your secret?"
How many of those things?
Seven. It's seven. You need these 7 things. The 7 secrets of highly successful, my admission here, white people, private school, legacy, Ivy admission, Xavier, nepotism hire.
Legacy, father's name on the bit.
I don't know what it is.
Nepotism.
Seed capital from family. I'm not going to say anything. I had some at home. Club membership. Let me stop.
County board president.
But I think that's real. You know what I mean?
That is the normal experience for black folk. You need to cut it out. I don't. That's real though. I don't want to. Ron, what would be your least desirable way to check up out of here?
It probably have to be drowning too.
Drowning behind a green door.
Drowning behind a green door.
Hey, that'd be worse. I think that's worse than burning.
Drowning is worse than burning?
Burning behind a green door? That would be pretty bad.
I think drowning worse, man.
Drowning don't hurt.
Yeah, but at least you...
Nice whack as hell.
It's quick.
What's quick?
Drowning. It's
That's actually your least favorite way, sir.
It's quicker than... I'd rather have more time to die. You feel me? I'd rather be burning than just drowning you out of there quick.
He's been burning for so long, he's just accepted it.
Right, he's perpetual state of burning. Right, I'm always burning.
At least you're still alive a little bit longer.
Let me get this right.
I've been burning since the 80s.
Let me get this right. You're getting the burning sensation when you urinate? No. Fire shoot out my dick. I can't even pee in the house. I burn my house down is what I'm trying to say. I got to go outside and take a piss is what I'm trying to say. My dick is a blowtorch. I think you just said 2 different things, Rob.
I think drowning is worse than burning.
Drowning is worse than burning because it happens faster.
And like you said, that shortness, the not having breath, the not being able to breathe. Mm-hmm. At least when you on fire, you can holler and scream.
You can't breathe in fire either, though. That's a misconception.
Hey, Ron.
You can yell and scream.
Ron,
let me tell you something. I've been in the fire.
Ron.
That smoke hit your ass before that fire do, bro.
Ron, look at me, bro. Look at me. Are you hearing me? Listen to the question, okay? You're going to die, okay? The death is imminent. You can scream as long as you want.
I prefer.
Okay? Which way do you want to go? I'm not asking you which way you think you can get out of it.
I'd rather be burned. I'd rather die being burned.
Yeah, that hurts, man.
Both of them hurt. It hurt not to breathe, too.
No, it doesn't hurt.
No, it hurts not to breathe.
It does not hurt. It is agonizing.
Gee, I've had 2 lung surgeries.
That hurts. Surgery hurts.
No. It hurt not to breathe.
No, it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
It's
I wasn't even there. It wasn't me that had these surgeries. It wasn't me.
The surgery hurts. Not being able to breathe in and of itself don't hurt. It's agonizing.
Oh, it's just agonizing.
I can imagine it's a terrible, terrible feeling.
It's just an annoyance.
No, I mean, extremely annoying. Sure.
I can't breathe. That's kind of annoying right now.
It's extremely annoying.
Okay.
Is it painful? No.
Okay.
Yeah, your lungs are probably in hella pain. Your lungs can't expand.
Yeah, they're not in pain, though.
You ever had gas, like when your ribs stick?
Yeah.
Is that painful or just annoying?
It hurt like a motherfucker.
That's just annoying?
Is it comparable to...
Is that annoying or painful?
It's annoying.
It's annoying?
And it could be painful.
Okay.
It's not 400 degrees painful.
Try not breathing for a little while.
I ain't going to breathe to the end of the show.
Stop talking because we just going to keep track. When your ass pass out, we'll know where the pain sits. Don't let go. Don't let go. You cool, right? You cool, right? You got this.
I'm fine.
Don't you wasted breath talking? You should be quiet. You breathing through your nose anyway.
I'm not breathing that up.
Okay. So now you've passed the world record of 2 minutes.
Don't let two send you to the hospital on air.
I'm competitive.
No, he's breathing.
I'm not breathing. I haven't breathed since you told me not to. Now I'm breathing. I'm competitive. I'm that kind of stupid. I'm that kind of stubborn is what I am. I can't? Watch me. Die.
No.
Dead. I'm that kind of silly. Tell me what I can't do. No, I think I'd rather drown though, for real.
Oh,
I would rather drown than burn.
Yeah, I'd rather live forever.
You just told Sadiq that you don't want to live forever.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to die like that either. So I choose living forever.
Hey, well, how y'all want to go out, man?
I don't really think about that like that. It's not really a thought I have very often.
You don't gotta talk. You don't gotta breathe to talk, D. Millie. You can hold your breath and talk, not for long, but you can do it. That's all singing is.
Singing is just holding your breath.
You,
and not talking?
you hear a singer hit one of them long notes. They aren't breathing, fam.
The wealth of information that Herb Howard has.
I'm saying they gather a deep breath and then they hit a long
and then
note.
they just let it out.
You think they're breathing through that note?
Beautiful music.
You hit a note and breathe through it.
I can't hit a note, which is why
Just
I know,
make a noise for a long time and breathe through
I
it.
know just holding my breath and blowing out does not create beautiful music. These is Herb facts.
How's that a Herb fact?
Oh, so Cherie says useless fact. You will die faster drowning in salt water. I'm just saying. Well, actually, I wouldn't like to be in either one of them.
Okay, so put me in the ocean and let me drown. Don't let me drown in Lake Michigan.
I don't want to be in the ocean. After about 3 feet of ocean, I ain't going no further.
3 feet of ocean?
I ain't going no further, G. I ain't. I don't know what's out there. I'm not going no further.
Hey.
There's predators in that water, homie. I'm cool.
I found myself as deep out in the ocean as I ever want to be, like last year. Went over to Mexico, did one of them little boat things, and it was fun. Whatever. Point is, we docked somewhere, got off the boat, hopped in the ocean. Crystal blue water, see straight through it.
Yeah,
right?
it looked like 3 feet.
Amazing.
So you realize it ain't 3 feet.
Sir, when you're in your tippy toes and it's like, hold on, why can't we get to the beach? We're not close to the beach. I can see it, but we're not even close to the joint. They're like, oh, y'all can get off. So we climb down a little ladder on the boat. I'm searching for the bottom. I can't find it. I'm hanging on the bottom step of the boat, but my foot ain't on.
Can you swim?
I cannot drown.
So no, you can't swim.
No, I cannot drown.
I can actually swim, and I ain't that stupid.
Oh, we had a blast though.
So let me tell you.
That's a story for a different day. That's a
time.
Friday story for sure.
I'm in Jamaica one time, and I get to the jet ski joint. And I'm like, man, let's try it.
I went live on Instagram,
right,
on that thing,
on the jet ski joint. So dude on the boat pulling off. I can't stand up on the jet skis.
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure out how to get up on the jet skis.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm realizing is that we're going further and further out.
Oh, yeah, it's cracking.
And I'm not above water.
I'm
getting further. I'm going
cracking.
down. I said, homie, I'm done.
Hey, fam.
I'm done.
Hey, check it out.
Run that back. Right back over the shore. Run that back.
Check it out, fam. So, matter of fact, the same time they was doing these, they got these like jet fuel propeller rocket thingy majiggas in the water, right? You seen them joints where they like sprayed the water out of the thing?
It take you up though?
Oh,
I'm with everything going up.
No. It's just you, right? Like imagine being on a skateboard.
It's like the Back to the Future joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, hell no, Jack.
I'm with anything going up. I don't want to go down.
My homie did it.
Do you know that
he couldn't wait to go? He falls out the sky, 100 feet in the sky, face plants in the ocean, fam.
He ain't got skills. So I can dive in, I can swim. Now, if we was doing this in the pool, I'd be comfortable.
He wasn't in control.
If you know you falling, you got to adjust.
The water thing.
I do all that. The high dive, I'll do all that.
No, we off the chain.
In a pool.
In a pool. Well, we in the middle of the ocean.
There's too much life out there.
We out in the ocean.
It's too much stuff I can't explain in that ocean. I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry.
It's not a game.
It's life out there, bro.
It's not a game.
It's the most unexplored place on the planet.
It's not a game.
I don't know what's in there.
I did. You been snorkeling before? You done that?
No, I'm not going under in the ocean. I'm not doing
That's
it.
not a move either. Okay, I like the glass bottom because I'm infatuated with marine life. I love all the nature shows. I watch all that stuff. And so I'm like, okay, let's do the snorkeling. Let's go out here and see what the fish are doing. And so we get in the boat and they take you out 15, 20 minutes out into the water, whatever.
Yeah, I have no interest.
Okay, y'all get off. You got the life jackets on. You got the little pack and the little breathing device and all that other goofy stuff. And
I'm cool.
Even the flippers. I even put the flippers on. Right?
I'm good money.
Bro, get in the water. I'm in that joint for about 34 seconds. Fish.
I'm not with that.
Come past get me out of here right now. And then the dude made me mad because once I get on the boat, I'm like, I'm out, put me back in the boat. He like, what happened? I'm like, man, the fish came past, hit my face. He's like, oh, they wouldn't do that. What the fuck? What do you mean?
Just like you said about my love.
Like that's your homie. That's your homie. Like what do you mean he wouldn't do that? Oh, they might get close, but then they'll part real fast. Part these nuts. He in my face. Get me out this water. What's wrong with you? Like.
They got what's that called? I don't know what it's called, but they got the glass bottom on the boat.
The glass bottom boats. I love those. That's what I'm saying. I rock with those.
Yeah, they cool. I'm with all that. Oh, it's cute, but I'm not getting out.
Yeah, I rock with the glass bottom boats.
I need barriers between me and nature. I'm not rocking. I'm not rocking at all. You can't control what they gonna do. I'm cool.
I kind of want to go on like the safari.
Do you realize how strong a damn deer is?
Oh my goodness.
So
That's one of my biggest fears.
I say
in
this
life.
I used to live in Iowa.
One of my biggest fears.
And my understanding of nature changed there, right? So before I moved to Iowa, I had never seen a raccoon, G. Like raccoons wasn't readily like that in the city. You would see possums every now and then, but you didn't see raccoons like you see them today. So I saw a raccoon. I'm like, I ain't never seen a raccoon. So me being me, what did I do? I picked up a bunch of rocks. I'm throwing it at the raccoon just to see what they gonna do. And I realized the raccoons is G's and they don't play that shit.
Oh yeah, we ain't with it. We throw it back.
So the raccoon and all of his 18 family members chased me for about 20 miles, and I was gone.
20 miles.
I'm gone. Right? But Iowa, there's a season in Iowa where deer overpopulate the city, and you can legally hunt them.
That's what hunting season is for.
In the city limits, you can hunt them in the city limits.
Yeah.
Only if you're using bow and arrows.
Oh, okay.
Right? But I would legitimately wake up in the morning, you see rows of deer jumping out back gate.
Yeah.
Like they're everywhere. Right? They're everywhere. Right? Yeah. So one day I'm walking to the store and we shortcut everything. So I turned the corner to hit through this little shortcut. Deer, me, this close.
No dice.
We legitimately, both of us scared as hell too.
Urine my leg. This close. Okay?
We both scared as hell. And this is a buck or whatever, because this is a big one. You know
yeah, huge. Yeah. Wait,
so I was like, I backed up slow and quiet, right? And now mind you, he's legitimately on the edge of the corner. I turn, deer, right?
He like, what you doing?
You can't back up. You can't run. He jump or kick. You fucked up for life.
You cooked.
Understand me? So I backed
they
up.
They total your car. What are they going to do to your face?
I backed up real slow. Now, mind you, I didn't get a foot away from dude. The corner was a foot. You understand me? The corner was a foot. I legitimately, as soon as I turned, boom, he right there. A foot, bruh. I didn't hear nothing.
He was gone?
I look back, a memory, G.
Gone.
I don't want no smoke.
Nobody would believe
me. He was a ninja deer, G. I don't want no smoke. He'd have killed me.
Got down in Carbondale, saw them deer just on the way to class. I'm like, this is different, fam. Okay, please take me back to 71st where I might have a bullet whiz past my face, but please don't let another deer whiz by my face.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke, G.
I'm
and
not
I definitely ain't
for
rocking
that.
with nothing in that water. I didn't.
Not for it.
They look like aliens. You can't even identify that shit.
D. Millie say swimming with the dolphins. So much fun. You gotta do it.
Bless your heart, D. Millie. I ain't going.
I ain't know that.
I'm not doing none of that.
I do want to do the swimming with the sharks, the cage. I want to do
you
that.
Stupid.
That's fine.
Yeah, you stupid.
That's cool.
Yeah, y'all dumb. And not me.
Ron gonna reach his hand through the cage. Come back. One hand, Ron.
Look, me, the deer, land, I got a chance.
Snub Ron. I ain't with it, man.
You got a chance on land.
I am not. I want to go to the safari, man, because I really love like seeing like the big cats
I do that
and all
too.
that.
In a car with the gates, it got to have the full joint. I ain't in that.
Because y'all know my sense of humor. I've laughed at every single story I've ever heard about one of them white folks getting killed on the safari in the Serengeti. Like you got killed. What? I can't believe the lion ate him. What? And then what Chris Rock said, that tiger went crazy. That tiger didn't go crazy. That tiger went tiger. Like, what is you talking about? Like, nah.
Man, I was in Seattle one time. Seattle had, I don't know what it's called, but it's some kind of zoo. It's like a cageless zoo, right? So it's almost like a safari concept, but what it really is like gated barriers from the animals. But it's all, the animals kind of, specifically like birds and stuff like that, they kind of roam the terrain freely. It's not like caged kind of deal. And
is it a car with gates? No, too.
I got to have the bars, the whole joint. I'm not rocking, G. I can't nothing get through these bars, G. Have you seen that video on YouTube with the Indian dude, the red dot Indian dude? And he's on a horse and he's doing something like with a stick waving in the grass? Bruh. You see that? Bruh. He's just clearing grass right in front of him. And out of nowhere, a lion comes out of this grass. Like he was sitting there the entire time.
Don't get me
like I'm watching the video with the dude. The lion is like a foot away from dude. Nobody sees the dude. Nobody sees the lion.
Come get me, Lord.
He's clearing grass. Nah, I'm good.
Come get me, Lord.
I'm cool, fam.
I'm done.
I'm cool on that.
I'm done, Lord. We are also done here for this edition of I Said What I Said. What about being mauled to death? Where's that on your list?
That's not really high. How about you? That's high on your list?
Where's that on your list?
What's wrong with you,
compared
man?
to drowning or being on fire? What is mauled to death by a lion?
Yeah, I want to go in my sleep.
Yeah, I'm make it quick,
That's
fam.
good enough for me.
Make it quick. Medulla oblongata. Tell them to shoot you in the medulla oblongata.
And I don't want to get shot either. I just want to be peacefully resting and fade off. Just like that.
That's how we're going to end the show.
Player, test your work.
Listen, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all get up early on Wednesday morning. Hang out with Ruthie Moore and them dudes. Then stick around for the book of Don Salim Muwakil ascend into Muwakil's world tomorrow on Wednesday afternoon before touching down on the soil with the bigs. We will be back here same place, same time tomorrow at 3 p.m. Until then, y'all be good to each other. For Ron Rilla, for Toussaint Warner, my name is Herb Howard. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.
WIFTBPM.
You about that life? I'm about that life. You ain't really about that life. If you really about that life, JC, spit a key. Let me test your work. Ross, you the boss? Let me test your work. Jeezy, you talking breezy? Let me test your work. Cam, you the man? Let me test your work. Dre and Snoop, like that chronic, I need something stronger. Molly cute, that's like an aspirin for my daughter. Big time, in the club with a case of Ace, and I sniff that whole table. Scarface, another court case. I'm a frequent offender. Where Wyclef was hot, I was gone to November. 6 years, hard time. Bobby was fucking up, Whitney could have been mine. We would have been